bicycle clown.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Connor Happer.
You might want to look away for this.
Mike Schaefer.
My boy's awake and smart.
This is Happer and Schaefer.
Good morning, welcome in. Happy Thursday. It's Happer Schaefer here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer with you. Good morning, Mike.
Morning, Connor.
How are you?
I am. I'm good. It's Thursday. I like Thursdays. They feature a lot of my favorite stuff that we do here. Most specifically, I feel bad that I had unearthed accidentally one of the headlines that you were looking to use.
Yeah.
And will you click on this link?
That's okay. I replaced it.
Because I did click on the link. So that was a real life link clicking.
It's been replaced.
So yeah, I am well aware that Kelly Stafford, Matthew Stafford's wife, who, by the way, has no shortage of insane headlines.
Yeah. I've noticed
and this has kind of been known for a while, but yeah, she chucked a pretzel at somebody during Monday night's contest. Nice. So no word as to whether it was a completed chuck or not, but you know.
Well, I mean, if it hit somebody.
Yeah, but was it her intended target?
I don't know.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Gotcha.
So, you know, it's not a completed pass if you hit somebody.
That'd be something if they weren't expecting the pretzel to be coming at them and then they caught it. That'd be like catching that. Yeah, that'd be like catching the ball in dodgeball.
It's a jugs machine.
It's like you're out now.
Oh man, yeah, it's a jugs machine, but it's just a pretzels being fired at you. You're doing the little like run in motion movement, and you turn.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Just catch a big pretzel, dunk it into some beer cheese, and go on.
Turn around, make direct eye contact with the person who threw the pretzel, Matt Stafford's wife. Eat the pretzel.
You give a little pose after you catch it,
yeah,
and then you just do like the
it's
really
like, hey,
heavy
throw me another one.
Crunch.
I liked it. All right, here we are.
How much do we think that pretzel costs, by the way?
In LA's stadium?
Yeah.
Probably $14.
I was gonna say. I mean, obviously.
No, they built some of these new stadiums, like the I know the Atlanta one. Their whole big deal when they opened up was that they were going to have like cheap concessions. You remember that?
Yeah, they have $3. Yeah, it was super cheap.
I don't know if they did that in LA. I certainly didn't hear about it. So I'm going to call it unlikely, but I like the idea that, you know, we're building these new stadiums and you can actually get a bag of peanuts for $2 or something like that instead of $4.50.
Yeah, I don't know if they've changed it. But in 2019, hot dogs were going to be $1.50. Pretzel bites were $4.50. Now, if you had pretzel bites,
this is in LA stadium.
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz.
Oh no, this is in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yeah. Sorry. A Bud Burger was $7. These are all pretty reasonable. But if she had pretzel bites, she could have thrown multiple. You know, they would have been smaller. It wouldn't have had quite the impact. But,
yeah, almost like little tiny snowballs.
Yeah. Pew pew pew. Could have hit more. Now. In the future, she could just rip the pretzel up a little bit and use it that way.
I mean, the whole pretzel packs a punch. I understand. I get it.
What if she had dipped it first and then chucked it?
Oh, well,
that would make me mad.
Yeah.
If you threw a pretzel at me, I'm not going to like it.
Cheesy pretzel at me.
But if there's like sauce on that pretzel and then it hits and it just kind of like makes the impact where it goes places, that'd be no good. I'd be unhappy with that.
I want to hear from you guys on the show today. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line. Weirdly enough, I did have Mel Tucker's contract as one of the topics that we did talk about. We could talk about today. I guess people don't want to hear it from me anymore. But that's
I would like to discuss it.
Yeah.
So
you'll listen to me?
I'll try.
That's nice. Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, I don't know how they got into the whole conversation or whatever, but Sipple and I were talking a little bit about it afterwards. I don't think we're all that far off. I don't think we're all that far off on exactly where we were. Sipple made the very, very specific, correlation between the money that Mel Tucker is getting there and the money that very specifically Lincoln Riley would get if he were to move to LSU. And my point is, I don't know if that money is going up simply because of Mel Tucker's contract or because that's just what it takes to get a coach out of an already elite job who is an elite coach who will have other options. Now, that doesn't sound so stupid, does it?
No.
Huh. Interesting.
There's also the caveat to this that if Lincoln Riley gets hired for $11 million, you would still have agents, Jimbo Fishers, Dabo Sweeney's, Nick Saban's, Ryan Day's. Oh, Lincoln Riley, he's never even gone to a college football playoff champ. Like it,
right.
If the whole idea is that it moves the market, whatever salary goes on top will move the market.
It constantly moves.
It's going to.
It moves all the time.
It doesn't. And this was the other discussion that we didn't get to have on air. It's not like it goes backwards.
Never does.
Not like it goes down. It just goes up. And so it didn't matter which coach vaulted towards the top of that list. It's going to have a ripple effect to a degree. The problem with using Mel Tucker as the example is that it takes a specific set of circumstances where there's another program that's trying to hire him away, most likely for money that was in that ballpark anyways.
So that raises it.
It takes a program that says, no, we want to keep this guy and we can secure the funding to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have, it's not just like the next version of the PJ Fleck extension is going to be the same as what Mel Tucker got. Like there's levels to this.
It's a great point, Schaefer. I mean, the Michigan State situation seems very unique. Like Sipple said, it was two rich boosters who just forked over the money, basically.
Yeah, because they want their program to be good.
And that's the reasoning is sound or whatever. Like, but it's a relatively like, I know they got mad at this, but bubbled in situation, right? Like if Nebraska's next coach or whatever was in salary negotiations and you're like, well, I want $15 million, and look what happened at Michigan State. They got two donors who just forked it all over. You're telling me you don't have that here? I mean, the answer could be no.
Yeah.
We don't. We can't do that. Let's figure out something else. Let's figure out a better way. Also, I just tend to think that the other factors that I mentioned, such as Lincoln Riley, once again, Lincoln Riley, I don't know why Lincoln Riley is the always example here, but we'll just keep using it.
Well, because his name came up, and he's not going to LSU.
Yeah, I think
that's already kind of been cut in half.
That's kind of what I had heard yesterday as well. So, but let's, Lincoln Riley is already an elite coach. He's already at an elite program. What kind of money do you think it's going to take after he's already making $7.5 a year and he's been rumored for every NFL job in the book over the last 3? What kind of money do you think it's going to take LSU to get him out of that job? It's probably going to take quite a bit. Does that have anything to do with Mel Tucker? I don't think so. I just happen to think not. I understand how economics works. I understand once one person gets paid more, everybody looks at that and says, oh, wow. I just don't know if you can directly correlate these two very specific situations. That was my point, and I was laughed out of the room, so that's nice.
Well, it's also just the idea there's always going to be a new coach that's going to set the pole.
Right.
Like it's the same. You can move this conversation to the same idea of NFL quarterbacks. Like the Minnesota Vikings spent a lot of money to get Kirk Cousins because in the market of getting quarterbacks, that was the best that they could do. And that's what it costs to go get a quarterback that can play at that level. Since then, you've seen all sorts of guys from Jimmy Garoppolo to really good ones like Patrick Mahomes reset everything because you have to pay the market price when you're in the market.
Yep.
And when Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers or Lincoln Riley and Jimbo Fisher or Nick Saban come up, you're going to have to reset the market price. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work that way for every quarterback or, in the example, every coach. I tried to say this. What Michigan State is doing is an earlier version of what Iowa did with Kirk Ferentz. In 2009, he had one New Year's Six bowl appearance, or one like major bowl appearance and a bunch of outbacks. And in 2009, just to make sure he couldn't go anywhere else, they signed him to an 11-year extension that made him one of the higher paid coaches in college football.
Mm-hmm.
in doing this contract, even if Mel Tucker doesn't, go
All
to the
10
moon,
years. Yeah.
and he's just good for a long period of time,
You've kept him there.
not only that, coaches that are the Mel Tucker of 2025 are going to exceed him in salary. Just what happened with Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah.
We don't talk about his $4.5 million anymore because it's exceeded that. They got on the front end of it, and now they have a coach that they really like, and they have a sustained program for a long time. And so you don't talk about how much money they spent on the front end because they invested in something and it worked. That's what Michigan State's trying to do.
Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at too.
What it does to everything else is just sort of dependent on the situation. Like, I just don't think there's going to be, I would be shocked if Dave Aranda, because of Mel Tucker, is going to get anywhere near $9.5 million. And if he does, it would be because Baylor doesn't have to publicly display what his full salary is.
Yeah, I mean,
And you might already be getting that from a place like that.
I tweeted out yesterday that I thought it felt a little early. Like you know my thoughts on Michigan State this year and how they've been. I don't know that the model is, completely sustainable, especially how they've gone about their business this year. But they've won games, and he obviously became a hot commodity in the coaching ranks. So Michigan State forked over what they had to keep him, and however long that lasts, is semi unimportant.
Well, and if the money can be raised by two people and you already have it well protected to the ability to A, pay it, or B, if you need to get out of it.
Like, this is what I always say. And Trev Alberts has said the same thing a lot over the last couple weeks here when talking about Nebraska's specific situation. You do what's best in the moment for the information that you have. You make the best possible decision in the moment with what you have. Like, that's all you can do. So there are some decisions that we're going to look back on in 5 years and say, what the hell were they doing? Why were they giving Mel Tucker, a 10-year contract for $95 million? He might be fired. Who knows? It's obviously a lot of the decisions that Nebraska has made as a university over the past couple decades, you're looking at and be like, man, that was just wrong. We shouldn't have gone that way. You put the right people in position to make those decisions, and they make them based on the information that they have, and that's all you can do. And you evaluate it as such at the time. And then 5 years later, you do revisionist history and say, well, actually, looking back, that was stupid. That's how it goes. You can't fix it in the moment. You make the best possible decision.
What's interesting about Mel Tucker is that, yes, he went into the transfer portal real heavy for this specific year. Michigan State has 21 commits for next year, high school guys. They have the number 18 class in the country. What he did to kickstart it may not be what he's doing to try to sustain it.
Yeah, that smells
either.
like rebuild.
And so I don't know.
I
that.
mean, reload, whatever.
It feels like he's trying to cash into, build up the base. And then you can kind of get to do the best version of all of it, where you get to build with the best high school players you can get and spot recruit in the transfer portal guys that you think can help you. And you're going to be able to point to 5 to 7 success stories of players that they've had on their roster that, Kenneth Walker's on the high end of it, but they've had guys that are just really competent starters for them on defense too. So I like what they're doing. I think that the fact that you can get 2 boosters to put up a lot of this money to make it a little bit easier on the finances of your program.
More power to you.
And you're trying to build something sustainable at a program that people forget about in the Big Ten East. Like, you have a little brother complex. Yeah. That's what this is. This wouldn't happen at some of these other places because the expectation there is that they're going to be more successful than whatever the expectation is for Michigan State.
I don't have much of a problem from Michigan State side looking at it and saying we finally have a coach, or at least we think we do in this moment.
We had Mark D'Antonio, and he was great, and he ran its course, and we got to the college football playoff. We believe that this guy, who is a very popular name in college football athletics and is going to be up for any sort of job, we have to protect ourselves, and that's what they're doing.
Off the text line from Jeremy, he says, how big of an edible arrangement does Mel Tucker send the Nebraska football program? It's a good question. If they don't win that game, I don't know where they're at right now. I genuinely don't know.
Well, he'd be maybe sending it to Australia this offseason. So.
And Nebraska definitely should have won that game.
No doubt about it.
Eric and Lincoln says, congrats on your extension, Mel. Now you get to play Ohio State. Hey, man, just
don't forget
about the rule.
I'm fading your fade, by the way.
Well, it's
such a large line.
The problem is in the first 2, it was PJ Fleck who was favored
Yep.
against Illinois, right?
Yep.
And so the thing is, the idea is that you fade coaches immediately after they get huge contract extensions. So PJ Fleck goes into the Illinois game as a huge favorite. He gets a contract extension earlier that week. They flame out and lose to Illinois. Juwan Howard gets a huge extension, and they lose to Seton Hall. Seton Hall might not be that bad. I mean, like maybe it's just that. It's just the fact that they lost. But this is now a trend for me. It's happened twice, and it's happened recently. The problem is Michigan State's a 19-point underdog.
Yeah.
And I think Ohio State will win. But it's hard to fade a 19-point underdog.
Unless you really go high on the alternate line.
Yeah, I could just boost it.
I wonder what 28 would be for Ohio State. Like a 4-touchdown win. You think that would pay out at like plus 250?
If I could get to that number, I would do it. Yeah.
I'll search.
do a little playing around with it on FanDuel or something like that. All right. Want to hear from you guys. Sorry. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Sartor Hammond text line. All right. Like Schaefer said, it is Thursday. We'll have the text bag. Mike Sauter, should I click on this link in the 9 o'clock variety hour? We will not be talking about Matt Stafford's wife throwing a pretzel because Schaefer already clicked on that link. I have a bigger picture Nebraska ball question to ask, and kind of a roster football related question that I want to do at some point during the show.
I have an update.
Okay.
The best that you could get it, you can do an Ohio State by 25 at plus 165.
Okay. That's nice.
So now you know. And I'm sure if you really look hard, you could maybe find different lines than that, but this is the alternate line.
So that's like basically a reverse teaser or whatever. Like you flipped it the other way.
A little bit, but it also reverses the payout on it too. So instead
Right.
of being even money or minus 110.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Take a peek.
Something to consider.
Picks, by the way, I just counted them up because I didn't get around to it earlier in the week. We both went 2 and 3.
Okay. Not as bad as I
And
thought.
Birthday boy Rico went 1 and 4.
We said to fade Rico.
He had a chance to fade us. We were kind of on the same stuff again this past week, and he just didn't take the opportunities in a couple spots. Sorry, Rico. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. More up next.
Follow Connor and Mike on Twitter at Connor Happer, at Mike J. Schaefer. You're listening to Happer and Schaefer.
Beatrice Bakery has been serving Nebraska with one-of-a-kind grandma's fruitcake since 1964. You already know that, but did you know they offer way more than that? You've got to try their line of liqueur cakes, like the strawberry daiquiri cake or the vanilla rum cake. Or what about their breakfast breads, the banana nut bread, or their various streusel coffee cakes? Whatever the occasion, Beatrice Bakery has something for you. Oh yeah, and grandma's fruitcake? It's still pretty darn good. Beatrice Bakery, located in downtown Beatrice, or always online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies, but a cool afternoon will be on the way as we top out near 45. Winds out of the west at around 10 to 15. Mostly clear tonight. The low dropping down to around 29. Increasing cloud cover tomorrow. Breezy. South-southwest winds could gust over 20. Will reach a high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska in the NFL, I wore lots of protective gear to safeguard my health. I'm still protecting my health, as well as my family, friends, and community because I got my COVID vaccine. And now, even kids 5 years and older can be vaccinated. If you've been vaccinated, get your booster shot if you qualify. It's free, it's safe, and it protects all of us. Suit up against COVID. Find out more at healthylincoln.org.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljob.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
We take our college football Saturday so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one post-game show simply isn't enough. Join Derek Pearson and Jake Sorensen for the Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point with giveaways to listeners who drop by and hang out. It's the Tickets postgame with DP and Jake live from Tanner's Bar and Grill.
I'm Dan Friedman. When you entrust the care of an aging or sick loved one to a nursing home, it can be a gut-wrenching decision. Unfortunately, sometimes these facilities are poorly managed or make bad decisions, and our vulnerable loved ones suffer the consequences. If you believe your loved one suffered at the hands of a poorly run nursing home, it doesn't cost you a thing to get the opinion of a skilled trial lawyer. At Friedman Law, we've been protecting the rights of injured Nebraskans for over half a century. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
A new Planet Fitness location is coming soon. To celebrate, you can join before we open for just $1 down, $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
Planet Fitness Lincoln opening a third location soon, just east of 84th and Layton. Join now.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See club for details.
You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on Happer and Schaefer, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Just asking Schaefer this during the break. Why does it feel like we haven't had a really big college football weekend yet? We've had a couple big games. Nothing like the reason that kind of comes up because I was looking back at our picks and just to see I always feel like going into every week, I have to preface the game slate with, that's not that good this weekend. There have been some really horrible ones. Yeah. But I don't know. It feels odd like that this year. Maybe it's the lack of really,
could it?
There's a shortage on really good teams.
Could it be as simple as there's a lot of group of 5 teams in the top 25? So then if they don't match up with each other or they play on like a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Friday, there seems to be. I mean, you have UTSA, you have Cincinnati, you have San Diego State, you have Houston. I feel like there's at least 2 more, so that would take some of the spots out. It's not a ton.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not more than usual.
That has something to do with it.
You have Wake Forest at number 10 playing Clemson.
That's
I could see that being one of the games we have to pick.
Yeah.
You have Michigan State, Ohio State, which is a 7 versus a 4 with a 19-point line.
I don't even know. Let's try and map that out right now, honestly. What are the 5 biggest games of the week? I mean, Michigan State, Ohio State obviously is one. Does Oklahoma, Iowa State make that list? Iowa State's bad now.
Yeah, they haven't done that well. Oregon, Utah is maybe the most
Arkansas, Alabama, game. Which I don't really care about, but it's 2 ranked teams.
I don't know what radio station he was on, but they did like a poll quote. And the question to Alan Bell was, does Arkansas have a chance? And always was like, no.
That was the poll quote? Awesome. Amazing.
It was great.
No. Quote, no, dash Alan Bell.
It was amazing.
Dash Wayne Gretzky.
It's just this tweet that came through and I was laughing really hard because I could hear it in my head.
Honestly, so we came up with 3, and I'm not sure if there's really anything else going on.
Wake Forest, Clemson. Did you put that one in there?
No. Okay, we could throw that in there.
That's at least
and then I guess we would have to get Iowa State, Oklahoma. as the 5th.
Yeah, unless you really want to tuck yourself into Georgia Tech, Notre Dame.
Pass.
Unless
Unless you're interested in UTSA UAB.
No.
A little short spread
Is
there.
Kansas State good this year? Is Baylor Kansas State a game I need to have on my radar?
Kansas State is favored by a point.
Wow. So Kansas State started 3-0. They lost their next 3 games, which included Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and Iowa State. Then they've won their next 4 games, and none of them have been, well, Texas Tech was a 1-point win, but the rest have not been close. And then they get Baylor and Texas to finish. They probably can't win the Big 12, but they could definitely spoil Baylor's whole thing right now.
Yeah, they definitely have a thing going on. That much is for sure. All right, feels like Rico's gearing up for something here. What's happening?
Some news with the Bengals?
No, we do UConn UCF and just see how many points they can score.
UCF isn't good.
UCF is favored by 30.5.
That's not that many points. It's only 11 more than Ohio State against the number 7 team in the country.
Oh, well then.
When I look at the
Isn't
games,
that ridiculous to say out loud?
That sounds very wrong.
Yeah.
When I look at the games, I only look at the top 25 teams, and so I did.
Yeah,
UCF, UConn did not come.
Don't do that. You have to look at the worst game possible and also do that.
Okay, should we just throw a random worst game possible in there this week?
Possibly.
Like a huge spread, like UMass Army by 37.
Ooh.
I would take Army.
I don't know if I would.
I'm pretty sure Rhode Island, where Jack Cooper is the defensive coordinator,
Yeah.
just beat UMass last week.
Friend of the
so,
show.
We're big Rhode Island.
I mean, Ole
Friend
Miss,
of the recruiting hour.
Ole Miss, Vanderbilt. Ole Miss
RIP.
is favored by 36.5.
Maybe we'll do that this week. We'll see if we have to get creative at all.
Just find the largest spread.
yeah.
My goodness.
It just feels like it's been that way every week. We've had to like scratch and claw to find
where you have to
fun
talk
college
yourself
football.
into these SEC matchups that you have no interest in watching, and it's like almost coin flippish. Who's going to win between Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Arkansas, and
right.
Mississippi State, and it's like none of those teams excite you on any level.
Yeah, I mean,
Ole Miss sort of did, but then
it's 2 ranked
Yeah.
teams, but it that Arkansas isn't going to beat Alabama, so it's okay.
It's like a fake ranked.
All right, let's.
Do you think if Michigan State knew that you should fade a coach after they get an extension, they would have waited till after the Ohio State game?
But
I think they're trying to break the trend.
yeah,
I don't think I would have taken.
It's directly related, as we have discussed
Yeah.
in the show this morning.
Everybody
it's,
knows.
it's all connected. Moves the market, things like that.
Yeah, it does.
Quickly before we take a break here, and get to Rico. Hey, by the way, happy birthday, Rico!
Hey, thank
It's
you.
Rico's birthday. People
It is.
forget that.
Thank you.
I forgot because I didn't know.
People
fine.
won't forget it as we go on throughout the day. Rico will make his.
Is
appearances
Rico a
on the
big
show.
birthday guy?
I love my birthday.
I haven't noticed it,
Okay.
which is
You
interesting.
generally know, or
Well,
you?
the thing is, I'm very important every single day. So
That's
my
true.
birthday is just kind
That's a
of
good point.
extra important. But I won't make that big of a deal.
Okay, yeah, that's the question. Like, do you make it a big deal or not? I don't think you do. I don't notice that you do.
No, not really.
But happy birthday!
Thank you.
Quickly before we take a break here, the women's basketball team, they beat Creighton last night.
They did not go over the number.
They did not go over the number. They did not cover whatever imaginary spread we laid out there for them.
They did win by 5.
However, it's a gritty win. They won ugly. My new thing is to give teams a lot of credit for winning ugly, I think. Considering both of the Nebraska teams, the men's basketball team and the Husker football team, don't do it ever.
Winning is hard enough.
They are not capable of doing it.
Yeah, it's impossible.
So I continue to think that they have a pretty good squad. So if anybody is interested and would like to hop on the bandwagon, they are free to do so.
Plenty of seats.
Plenty.
Also, shout out to wrestling for beating North Carolina.
Yes.
2 massive upsets. I don't know the weight class, but North Carolina had a has a national champion, defending national champion, and he was beaten by a Nebraska wrestler.
They had it on my little monitor while I was sitting up there doing the basketball
Pepsi
game
night.
last night. So I would take a peek every once in a while. Weird game too last night. There was a double tech. There was a lot of scrappiness going on. Scrappiness. There was the last probably 4 minutes took
forever.
Maybe 25 to 30.
A lot of free throws.
Something like that. Yeah, a lot of free throws.
Alexis Markowski went on like a 6-0 run by herself.
Right. Yeah. There was weird. It was a weird game last night, but it
Feels
was
like you're gonna say that a lot. Just she can just go on runs.
They just pass it to her in the post. She makes 2 moves. Boop.
It was a good gritty win for the women's basketball.
They're gonna be fun.
I think they're gonna be fun. They'll and they haven't been Creighton in 5 tries leading up to last night, and the coaching staff was pretty happy about being able to do that as well. There's a lot of kids in the game who kind of know each other, stuff like that. So it was a nice win for them, and you won ugly, and you use it potentially, hopefully, as a springboard, something like that going forward. All right. Once again, text bag coming up at 9. You can get your thoughts, questions, concerns, texts in for that.
Can't wait.
At 402-464-5685. We have the state title football games coming up on Monday and Tuesday at Memorial Stadium. Also, we have a 6-man final.
Friday night
coming up tomorrow. Mike Sauter will join the show in the 9 o'clock hour as he does, and then we'll ask Schaefer if he wants to click on a bunch of links. And now I'm just wasting time to see if we're going to take a phone call here. It feels like probably no.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. We'll take a break. Rico's in next for True or False.
More of Happer and Schaefer is coming your way on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Hi, I'm Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska in the NFL, I wore lots of protective gear to safeguard my health. I'm still protecting my health, as well as my family, friends, and community because I got my COVID vaccine. And now, even kids 5 years and older can be vaccinated. If you've been vaccinated, get your booster shot if you qualify. It's free, it's safe, and it protects all of us. Suit up against COVID. Find out more at healthylincoln.org.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
We take our college football Saturday so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one post-game show simply isn't enough. Join Derek Pearson and Jake Sorensen for the Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point with giveaways to listeners who drop by and hang out. It's the Tickets postgame with DP and Jake live from Tanner's Bar and Grill.
I'm Dan Friedman. When you entrust the care of an aging or sick loved one to a nursing home, it can be a gut-wrenching decision. Unfortunately, sometimes these facilities are poorly managed or make bad decisions, and our vulnerable loved ones suffer the consequences. If you believe your loved one suffered at the hands of a poorly run nursing home, it doesn't cost you a thing to get the opinion of a skilled trial lawyer. At Friedman Law, we've been protecting the rights of injured Nebraskans for over half a century. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Building a house today is completely different than it was a year ago. It's great. It's a great time to build a house.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
Interest rates are fantastic. Our lot selection is fantastic. Being a large volume builder like we are, we tend to get very good discounts from our suppliers, which has been very helpful. So if you want to build right now, it's a great time to call, make an appointment, set a budget, sign a contract. You're locked in. I'm locked in. Let's figure out your location. Let's get that lot reserved. It allows you then to have some freedom and room to sell your home for a great profit. In the end, it's going to be a win-win for you.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
A new Planet Fitness location is coming soon. To celebrate, you can join before we open for just $1 down, $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
Planet Fitness Lincoln opening a third location soon, just east of 84th and Layton. Join now.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See club for details.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. On Friday, football semifinals took place across the state. In Class A, Gretna shut out Omaha North 34-0, and Omaha Westside won over Bellevue West 41-26. In Class B, Bennington beat Elkhorn 28-1, and Aurora won over Omaha Scott 21-17. In Class C1, Pierce shut out Battle Creek 21-0. And Columbus Lakeview beat Kearney Catholic by 10, 31-21. In Class C2, Norfolk Catholic outpowered Wilbur Clatonia 35-12, and Ord was shut out by Archbishop Bergen 20-0. In D1, Howells Dodge won over Burwell 56-18, and Cross County beat Hitchcock County 56-20. In cross country news, Class A state champion Gabe Hendricks won the Nike Cross Nationals Heartland Regional in Sioux Falls. He was invited to the national meet, but it was canceled soon after. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Connor Happer.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I like ketchup.
Mike Schaefer.
What are we doing? I can't handle it. What's going on?
This is Happer and Schaefer.
All right, welcome back. It's time for Rico. Rico time. Hey, Rico.
Hello.
How are you?
Apparently, I have to issue a public apology.
I don't think so.
No? I'm still sorry.
It's so sporting events, like you can't just DVR them and then be mad if someone tells you the result. Like,
Especially if you're listening to sports radio.
Yeah. And we don't talk wrestling a lot, but we're not that sorry.
I think you're in the clear to give the results
of
the sporting event.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I didn't say everybody that won. There's also going to be a loss in there that you're surprised about.
Well, that's another spoiler.
Yeah, you just keep spoiling.
Yeah,
things.
you probably shouldn't have said that.
No, you're not going to. No, there's a lot of losses that you'd be surprised about, but there's going to be one you're going to be especially surprised about. But it's fine. That's not spoiling anything.
Worse.
I'm not spoiling anything.
Just digging himself a bigger hole.
How is that? It's not spoiling. I didn't say a name. I didn't
One
say a
day
weight
after
class.
rising from the ashes, avoiding
I did nothing
a fate
wrong.
sealed. Rico now attempting to make everyone
Dead Rico.
I did nothing wrong here.
Well, he can't be dead today. It's his birthday.
Yeah, you can't kill me on my birthday.
You're killed.
Is that a law?
Yes.
Isn't also not killing someone a law?
Also, yes. But that's like
So
a
what
gray
is it?
area.
It's a gray area. Okay, I'm going to go false on that one.
Are you sure? True or false?
What do we have today, Rico?
True or false? Killing someone's a gray area.
False.
Wow, well, this wasn't any fun. True or false? Texas Tech's announcers did nothing wrong.
What did Texas Tech's announcers do?
Texas Tech's announcers are being reprimanded by the Big 12 for claiming that the Big 12 referees are clearly biased and that the game against Iowa State was fixed. Live on the radio.
I don't think you can go quite that far. You could complain about the refs.
I listened to some of the audio on it because Max Olson retweeted. There's a guy who ran the full thread of kind of what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it initially was sort of towing the line of just sort of whiny home announcer, like the refs don't like us and they're giving everything to the other team.
Yeah.
To then it sort of just
that first part's okay.
Do you want some
jumped
quotes?
over? Yeah.
I'll say it right now. The Big 12 does not want Iowa State to lose this game. Yeah, Bob Bowlesby, you need to answer to this. This is ridiculous. The inconsistency of this referee crew is in favor of Iowa State. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you can't quite go there.
Yeah.
The Big 12 should be embarrassed. The Big 12 should be embarrassed with this group. We've only pointed out two guys. I'm going to read them all to you. And then they proceeded to read all of the names of the referees.
I would feel embarrassed if I did that on this show, and I wouldn't get fired for it, but it would just be a bad opinion.
Yeah. It's you've definitely got to be able to walk the line as a broadcaster of you can point out things that you don't agree with, and you can definitely think that it feels like a lot of the calls have gone against your team. Saying that the commissioner needs to answer for the crew in the game is a little bit difficult to do.
And that it's clearly rigged, and that
Yeah.
Iowa State want Iowa State to win.
There was a point where a Texas Tech tight end caught a ball, was kind of tackled, and the ball came out of his hands when he was on the ground. And an Iowa State person picked it off. They ruled it an interception. Texas Tech's coach called a timeout. They didn't review it. And one of the radio guys tweeted during the game a picture of the guy catching it and was like, so he wasn't down with possession. Where was the review?
Also, didn't Texas Tech win?
Yes, they did on a 62-yard field goal.
Gotcha. Seems like this was all really necessary.
They were leading. I think it was like 34-20 at the time of the complaints. At least the ones that I was watching. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
They didn't want Iowa State
you
to
clearly
lose.
just want to complain about the refs. And if that's your thing, then fine.
I don't remember the question. Well, how did you phrase it?
Texas Tech's announcers did nothing wrong.
False.
False.
I agree with that. I
Next.
just couldn't think of a better way to word it. True or false, the playoff committee would be in shambles if Alabama lost again and then beat Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Okay. Give me the scenario again.
Alabama loses before the SEC championship game,
Okay.
still makes it, and then beats Georgia.
Shambles, he says.
Shambles. Or would they just, true or false, they would still put both of them in?
False. If they lose to either Arkansas and Auburn and then beat Georgia, the only one in there that would go would be Georgia.
Are you sure?
Fairly sure.
You didn't seem sure.
Well, I had to think about it, but I think that there's just enough teams that would stay above them with one or no losses that it would be.
But that's beating the number one team in the country.
Because you'd be talking about 2 losses to Texas A&M, who may not be ranked by the end of the year.
Rico, you are right. That would kind of be a doomsday scenario. We would not like that, because then they would have to make the decision on whether to keep 0 SEC teams in, 1 SEC team in, or 2 SEC teams in, and we all know what they're going to pick.
Well, they're definitely going to have 1. Like Georgia, if Georgia
right,
loses that
0
game,
or 2 is 0 or 2. Yeah.
I think they'd go with 1, and it would just be Georgia, because you'd have to have enough other results that push it around. Because
so you're saying Georgia's a lock?
Michigan's gonna either Michigan and Michigan State or Ohio State. Like, chance that you're gonna have 2 losses for 2 of those 3, so that pushes them out.
Mm-hmm.
It would be.
They don't take a 2-loss Michigan.
Kind of funny to me.
They don't take a 2-loss Michigan over a 2-loss Alabama though.
With a win over Georgia.
No, and what I mean is all those teams would be pushed behind Alabama.
Yeah.
But Georgia gets left out with 1 loss.
He's like, if Oklahoma State wins out, are they going to be in this at like 12-1?
I think you. Well, who they lose to?
Their loss.
Isn't like West Virginia or somebody stupid like that?
Their loss was to Iowa State on what was a questionable end game call too. So where they ruled him like short of the line to gain, even though his body like slid over the player. And his knee never touched the ground short. Whatever.
That was a good time.
It would also
shambles.
It would also be funny for Oklahoma State to miss out on the playoff yet again because of a loss to Iowa State.
It would be doomsday scenario, Rick. It's kind of shambles. True.
It would be my favorite scenario.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
What?
But shambles.
Why? Because
I want
they're
shambles.
just going to default to putting 2 SEC teams in.
Well,
but that would literally upset like some people are
I
upset.
would be super upset.
Like
It
some
would
people
force
want
them
to
to
be
be upset.
but this would be everyone.
It would force them to have to do things. And some of it is just how it plays out. If Oregon, Ohio State, and Cincinnati all went out, Alabama's not going to go over them with 2 losses to Arkansas and Texas A&M.
You say that, but Alabama is also currently number 2.
True.
With a loss to a booty Texas A&M team.
Also true.
1 more or 0 more?
True or false, Noah Syndergaard will have a resurgence with the Angels.
False. If you go to the Angels, you're bad. True.
Okay.
If you're a pitcher and you're on the Angels and you're not Shohei Ohtani, it does not go well for you.
Okay. Do you want another one?
No.
Okay.
We could be done. It's time for the text bag.
Text bag.
Send us a text, 402-464-5685, and the starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. We head into the 9 o'clock Thursday variety hour next.
You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
Building a house today is completely different than it was a year ago. It's great. It's a great time to build a house.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
Interest rates are fantastic. Our lot selection is fantastic. Being a large volume builder like we are, we tend to get very good discounts from our suppliers, which has been very helpful. So if you want to build right now, it's a great time to call, make an appointment, set a budget, sign a contract. You're locked in. I'm locked in. Let's figure out your location. Let's get that lot reserved. It allows you then to have some freedom and room to sell your home for a great profit. In the end, it's going to be a win-win for you.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
What are you doing, Sip? I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives. So you're building what exactly? It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Of course. Ow! God! Ow! Seems like a job for a professional. Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there. Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
We take our college football Saturday so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one post-game show simply isn't enough. Join Derek Pearson and Jake Sorensen for the Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point with giveaways to listeners who drop by and hang out. It's the Ticket's postgame with DP and Jake live from Tanner's Bar and Grill.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Happer and Schaefer.
It says I take no joy in life. I can see that.
Coming at you live from Koppel Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Why are you yelling at me?
Whatever, make me a bicycle clown.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Connor Happer.
You might want to look away for this.
Mike Schaefer.
My boy's wicked smart.
This is Happer and Schaefer.
Welcome back. 9 o'clock hour on a Thursday, which means it's time for the text bag. Send us a text 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Whatever you want to say, no matter how weird or dumb. We've had a lot of dumb conversations, and that's outside of the text bag, but definitely in the text bag.
I started watching a show that has Michael Keaton in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like most scenes that he's in, I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, you'd be able to take John Bon Jovi. It's like it had nothing to do with any of it, and I'm just sitting there watching it, and I'm just like, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, this guy could definitely kick John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, he'll be on our radio show.
The show's about the opioid crisis and how it got started in coal country, and he's a doctor.
And you're just sitting there like, yeah, John Bon Jovi doesn't stand a chance.
It's just like seeing him in his little like
You don't
white.
think John Bon Jovi could do that role?
Nah.
We'll never know.
John Bon Jovi, part of the crisis.
Let's do it.
Text back. Ooh. Every Thursday they go through the text back. Ooh.
Would you rather have a Doberman-sized guinea pig as a pet or a guinea pig-sized Doberman?
Guinea pig-sized Doberman. Be a lot cuter.
Yeah, it'd be significantly easier to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. A guinea pig, a
I'd still be
Doberman-sized guinea
somewhat
pig would be horrifying.
scared of the guinea pig-sized Doberman's teeth, but
yes,
in general,
I mean, they'd be very small but very sharp.
yes, you could protect yourself far better.
Just close your eyes.
I don't want to.
Imagine the largest guinea pig in the world.
Oh, well, now we got to look this up.
Well, the thing is, its legs still aren't very long. It's just, and if it's the same size as a Doberman, it's just very fat.
Oh, and
it's
they
just
still
massive.
Squibble around.
Yeah, it's just
Ugh,
massive.
Gross. It's like a huge rat.
Goya, the giant guinea pig, was 9 feet long and it weighed 1,500 pounds.
I'm sorry, what? No.
No, it's from 8 million years ago. So
okay,
how they were able to determine all of this?
8 million years ago.
That's what the Guardian is
It was
reporting.
a dinosaur?
I don't know. It's a
Dinosaur
giant guinea pig.
That sounds horrible. Absolutely gross. I don't like rats. Rat things, like things that look like rats.
I don't like rats. I don't like rat things.
I don't like
I
rats.
don't like things that look like rats.
My college roommate had a
Rat?
No. Kind of a what's that called?
Ferret,
mouse,
marmot.
No. You hold it in your hand. It's kind
Prairie
of
dog?
cute. It's a
Weasel.
hedgehog.
That's
We would have gotten there, right?
I think we're getting closer.
It was almost kind of.
We're all over that.
He really loved the thing, but it was almost kind of like a
started
party
going with-
trick. It was just like,
Yeah.
hey, come up to my room, look at my hedgehog.
Ugh.
one of those. I mean, he brought it out.
This isn't getting better.
He'll remain nameless. Would you rather wake up in the middle of the night to see a dude built like the Big Show has broken into your house, or see a ghost?
A ghost, 100%.
A ghost. The ghost can't
Yeah.
fight.
Big Show would be scary breaking into your
I
house.
would not want to see Big Show in my house.
Because at least with a ghost, you didn't say it was a demon. You didn't say it was a mean ghost. So it's just there. It's just kind of scary.
Just a ghost.
Yeah. It's just like, whoa, creepy.
Rico, what
Hello.
game can you compete/win the fastest? Complete/win the fastest. I think
Video
he's talking
game.
about video game. Yeah.
Definitely the older ones. The newer ones have very long stories, very story driven. Not like a Crash Bandicoot or something like that.
Nice. That's a good pick. I still haven't done my Mario 64 replay this year, where once a year
You're running out of time.
Once a year, I plug in my N64, I get really drunk, and I try to get all 120 stars on Mario 64. I haven't had time.
How many years has this gone?
That's probably about 5 years now.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
I love it.
I may not have done.
I'm
it in
a little
2020.
worried. You're like,
I'm very not free right now.
yeah,
No.
this is the worst time of year.
I don't know if you're going to be able to get it done this year.
Yeah. I don't
Are
know.
you going to miss a year?
I may.
Could you?
Oh, no.
what if so Sundays are usually your safest days.
The
So
end of
you've
an
got
era.
some Sundays coming up that won't be. But what if you did commercial-free football for a while? You get a bad run of late afternoon games. You do that,
That's
and it
doable.
leads you right into secession.
That's doable because you could just drink while doing the college, while watching the NFL games. Yeah, it's perfect.
I think that's your best bet.
Has Jackie ever joined you?
No, she's interested though. One thing that I try to do,
Because I can imagine both of you getting drunk and her trying to help you and just yelling things at you.
Sometimes I have to go to the bathroom and I ask her if she wants to like play a level or something like that. But it's not. It's not really a level. You walk into the doors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I also try to do it for as long as I can without opening up the Wikipedia guidebook.
Yeah.
And I usually get to about 80.
I think that's just a normal
so
person.
I have to do like a quarter of the game from the stupid guidebook. It's dumb.
Oh, they made it impossible.
Connor, Mustang, Corvette, or Charger, what will be your midlife crisis go-to?
Oh.
Do you think that I'll buy a car for my midlife crisis? No. I don't think there's any way that happens. I don't really know the difference between any of them. No, I know what a Charger looks like. I guess Corvette.
They all come from cows.
Yeah, Corvette. That would be it. Corvette doesn't come from a cow.
Yeah, right. It comes from a pig. Look at that. You're learning.
Schaefer, where is the best place to get a burger in Lincoln?
Well, I really like Chard. They just came to Lincoln here within the last year or so. You can find them down in South Lincoln. HF Crave has been probably the one I've had the most in the last 2 years. That was it was an important pandemic find for me. They're not too far from the studio right here on 48th. And then, Honest Abe's is a good standby. One, I'll give two others. Press Box, they have very good burgers down there. That's my favorite sports bar in town. And then this place I think is close to closing. And so if you're going to go, you want to go now because it's up for sale because it's right close to Innovation Campus and everything going on over there. There's a little bar on Cornhusker called the Tack Room, and you can go get a cheeseburger for like $3.50. And it is a fantastic bar style burger. It is not gourmet. It's not something you're going to get your phone out and take a picture of, but it's going to be a very good burger, and you'll get fries. And then the whole thing will be like $5.
Who needs a time machine when you have the Tack Room?
The Tack Room, we'll go to lunch at the Tack Room. I'll take you there.
Okay, good. Sup, fellas? Any news on the OC candidates for the Skurs?
No,
we tried to prod Simple about it this morning, and he said he didn't know. So when Simple doesn't know, nobody knows.
There's just general names bandied about, but there's nothing that I feel comfortable attaching myself to at this point.
I've been padding my OC skills on NCAA 14, so I think I'm ready to send my resume.
What kind of offense do you run?
I run the Oregon offense. 2014 Oregon.
You're not
naturally.
Well, it's the 2014 Oregon offense. So I mean, it's the same.
league.
It's the same thing. I can switch it up. I can run more of a pro style.
You strike me as the kind of guy that if we played and we both agreed that you would get 3 hits of the random button and you could take any of the teams that you got in there, the first thing you would do is you would pause the game, go to your roster, put the fastest guy you could at quarterback that could also throw the ball.
No,
that's not how you play.
No.
Okay. Those people are infuriating. They only know how to win one way.
I hate having a pocket style quarterback, but I will play with one.
Yeah. When I was at my apex of it, I felt like the best skill that I had was the ability to win with different offensive styles. Because really it all came down for me was defense.
You're not a system gamer.
Not really. And the system that I prefer is the one that most people hate, which is very slow plotting offense that just grinds it out down the field.
Yeah, I do hate that.
Well, nobody likes to play against it, and my hallmark was always defense anyways. So
are partly cloudy and mostly sunny the same thing? I feel like
no.
Yes, but I weirdly know the difference. It's minuscule. I feel like partly cloudy, there's more clouds than mostly sunny.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
And that's why they're not the same.
Sure.
Like partly cloudy is closer to 50-50.
Yeah.
Mostly sunny.
Mostly sunny is closer to 75-25.
Yeah, but then why wouldn't they call it just sunny at that point? Because there's some clouds, but it's partly cloudy.
I think they're trying to just, cover
Just mess with
themselves
you
a little bit.
Would you rather be 3 feet tall or 9 feet tall?
Didn't we do this recently?
It was
I don't care.
Close. It was something like this.
It was twice your weight or half your size.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like
Would
that.
you rather be really tall or really heavy? This one's just would you rather be really tall or really short?
I would like
think
to be
really
9
tall.
feet tall.
Really tall. I wouldn't like to be 9 feet tall, but I definitely wouldn't like to be 3 foot tall.
Yep, give me 9. Give me 9 in an early
I'll
depth.
take the 3 feet tall because 9, yeah, 9's a lot of health problems there.
Eric and Lincoln said the pay ahead concept in the drive-thru is a terrible idea. The car in front of me pays for my 3 coffees, but now I have to pay $25 for the family minivan behind me. Stop this stupid random acts of kindness.
You don't have to do it.
But then you feel guilt. It's public shaming.
Nobody knows. Only the people in the drive-thru know.
I was in an awkward
You have
situation.
to go back to that drive-thru again.
Someone
Just avoid it.
Someone did this for me at a Taco John's one time, which is bizarre.
At a Taco
Yeah,
John's.
like it's just bizarre. And so the clerk let me know like that this had happened. There was no car behind me. There was no one coming. Like what? It's like I couldn't pay it forward. I thought I was under like a bad sign the whole rest of the week because it's like I took advantage of this thing and I couldn't offer it to anybody else.
Wow.
So
you just still got a free meal from
yeah.
Taco John's.
And basically, whoever it was, if you're listening and you're not, thank you. Whoever eventually was next behind me and didn't get a free meal because of it,
sorry,
should have showed up earlier.
You should have just bought a $25 gift card and just said, pay for this person's
There
meal.
is probably only one person in the world who has done the meal chain thing at Taco John's, so that maybe that person is this. You know who you are.
It was.
You know what you
I
did.
had like the person explain it to me several times because it was baffling. to me.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, they did.
You'd like to pay for my
They
burrito?
paid for my crunchy chicken burrito. What is happening? Why?
If Prime LeBron James joined the WNBA as LeBronda James, what would his stat sheet look like?
Insane.
I like that his name would
LeBronda?
be LeBronda.
Well, how many like statistical categories could he hit double digits in?
I don't know. Like how many?
So for sure points,
Yeah.
for sure rebounds.
Would he not get assists?
I don't know about assists because I think he would. Yeah, so let's say assists.
He would get assists. They would like
Steals.
try to double team, triple team him.
Steals,
Yeah.
blocks.
Yeah. He would set whatever their record is individually.
Is that
for the
it? Is that
season.
all the stats? Like
I mean, there's
the
more. Those are the main
traditional
stats.
box score
Yeah.
stats.
Do you think
yeah.
he would just go for it and go for turnovers? Just like I'm doing it.
I guess he could try.
Yeah, let's just fill that up. He's just going to.
Do they call that a Westbrook when you have more than 10 turnovers?
They
Or
should.
more than 9
Nice.
turnovers?
They should.
Triple double with turnovers.
Yeah.
A Russ.
He's definitely led the league in that. A Russ. That's better than a Westbrook.
He hit a Russ.
He got a Russ tonight. 41 points, 0 assists, 8 turnovers. Let's see. Oh, we have a phone call.
Yeah, from Corey.
Is that allowed?
He
No,
said he
it's
would
a
like to
text
make a
bag.
quick phone bag
All right.
comment.
I'll accept it. Hello, Corey.
Hey, I know it's the text bag. It's not the call bag. I apologize for breaking format.
It's okay.
But I got super excited when I heard Schaefer talk about the tack room. I discovered that in '99 out of nowhere. I don't even know how I found it, but it's a great burger. I didn't even know the place was still open. I've never heard anyone ever mention that place ever. The tack room crowd is not the kind of circle I generally run with. Schaefer can probably understand why. It's a real
Yeah, it's true.
kind of hole in the wall spot. But I got super excited when I heard Schaefer mention it. I've never heard anyone else bring it up before. It's a great burger, and I didn't know the place was even still open. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go there before it gets shut down.
It was
Sorry
as
for
of a
breaking
month
format.
ago.
Thank you, Corey. Appreciate it.
I haven't been recently, but yeah.
Wow.
It's a hidden gem on
A
Pornhub.
couple people have reached out. They're like, "What? I thought I was the only person who knew about this.
Yeah.
This is great. Good move. I still haven't been there. / have never heard of it.
Well, I'll take you guys for lunch sometime. We'll go.
Do
great.
you trust pigeons?
No.
I hate Allbird.
No.
I absolutely
Do
Let me
you
rephrase that.
hate? Do you
Allbird's
trust
the
them?
shoe company I'm okay with. I have a pair of
All
those.
dash birds.
Yeah. I don't trust birds. I don't want any sort of
What do
association
you not
with
trust?
Have you seen the movie The Birds?
them. Yeah, I don't like it.
Terrifying movie.
Now, I don't like them,
Yeah.
but what are you worried that they may do?
Just poop all over. Have you ever been pooped on by a bird?
No,
It's a
I haven't.
horrifying.
It's
experience.
terrible.
I haven't.
It's supposed to be good luck, though.
Many people have told me that they've been crapped on by a bird, and I have never.
One of the great Vin Scully things is when he launches into the Mike Matheny got pooped on by a bird story
Yes.
in the middle of a game.
Yes.
And then it was also like it wove into how he met his wife. It was just incredible. It was like one of the Hall of Fame Vin Scully moments.
Serious question. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
No.
No.
Mm.
Not interested. Are they cute?
I don't know. I've never seen a
No,
baby
they're
pigeon.
birds
I don't
aren't-
think baby pigeons exist. I think they're just
You're going
they're just
conspiracy.
born adults.
I got you.
Pigeons are just rats with wings.
Also, pigeons are just security camera drones that the government has put everywhere. They're not real birds. That's why they're not scared of humans.
Birds aren't real.
Birds are fake.
Birds are ugly. And poop.
Can you explain the internet phenomenon about giving the guy $30 and you taking $40?
No.
I'm
Never
sorry.
heard of it.
I'm sorry. What?
I cannot. Nope. I cannot. Never once have heard of that. For the entire ticket office, which one of you would win a punt, pass, kick competition? So we get to punt, pass, and kick.
I am not good at either the kicking or the punting. I think I would hold my own in the passing.
Have we considered me?
I mean, I was assuming you were going to consider yourself.
I'm gonna kick butt in the punting. The passing, I'm gonna get close to last.
When I played football my senior year of high school, I couldn't really, I wasn't like going to be a football player or anything like that. Like they had me work out with the defensive ends and like the running back, like the fullbacks or whatever, but I was never going to get on the field. So I wanted to go out to the field. So I realized that the specialists went out to the field early. So I became the backup punter.
Nice.
I was like, Coach, I am the backup punter. And they were like, okay,
whatever you say, kid.
So I went out there and punted before the games. And it was one of the great thrills of my life.
You should have been a long snapper.
No, that's worse.
Do you have like a personal best punt?
Oh yeah. I bombed a couple.
Okay.
I actually learned how to punt. Like, I wanted to learn how to punt. I wasn't just going to be out there drop kicking stuff.
I can't do really either of the kicking or the punting. But I could throw it. So
the key is to get the spiral.
You only get so many throws, so I only really need my arm to function for a few throws. So I'll be fine with that.
It can break down afterwards.
Yeah.
Have we considered me?
We've not.
Okay.
I don't know who else in the office, and I'm not saying this, who like Bach maybe? I've never seen Bach.
Bach plays basketball at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bach's a basketball guy. I don't know.
Right. Jake can't throw. He's gonna be annoyed by that.
I think DP would throw pretty good, but I don't know how well his knees and back would hold up with the kicking.
Yeah.
Damn, Rico.
What? He had surgery on them.
Same with Jay Foreman, who's also a ticket employee.
Yeah, he hit people. He didn't do any of that stuff.
What dinosaur has the best chance against T-Rex? Triceratops, Stegosaurus, or Ankylosaurus?
I don't know the last one.
Ankylosaurus is the one with the club for a tail.
Ooh, I like that.
It's got armor plates on its back.
Armor plates? Like it's Call of Duty?
Yeah, but if it gets flipped over, its belly is very soft, very vulnerable. That's the problem, but it's got little spikes on the side to avoid that.
Can we have the truth circle, the trust tree, in the nest? I don't know the differences between any dinosaurs.
Dude, I can tell you right now.
A few of them.
The only one I know is T-Rex because it has short arms.
Do you want the other two? Do you want to tell you the other two? Triceratops is the one with the 3 horns on the front, little big old shield.
Okay.
And then the Stegosaurus has the spikes on its back and the spiky tail.
Yeah. All those seem the same to me.
The Stegosaurus is probably the biggest of those 3.
The Stegosaurus would be my guess.
I feel like that'd be a lot of people's guesses. I think I might go with the Ankylosaurus. It'll take it's the shorter, it's more stubby, it's lower to the ground than the other two. And if it gets a good swing, it'll shatter the T-Rex's T-Rex's foot. Then it won't be able to run after it.
Would it actually shatter the T-Rex's foot?
It's a lot of swing force. And it's just a giant club for a tail.
Could it get taken down in one bite?
Have to get rolled over.
Wow. Rico knows about dinosaurs.
Rico's very
Triceratops is just going to charge at the T-Rex. It's not going to be scared of it.
Right. Yeah.
But if the T-Rex can get around the spikes, the horns on the front, the Triceratops is done.
How does an airplane work? Explain it to me like I'm a child.
I don't know. I don't worry about it. I
Magic.
don't think about it.
There's got to be something with air and speed and resistance. I'm not going to pretend to know.
The engines suck up the air and then spit it out in a circle that lifts up the plane.
Like it's a jet. It's we're talking about a commercial airline. Like it's a jet. It's propelled forward. It goes very fast, and the wings get underneath the air. And then it starts floating.
You could
it's
tell
the same
me
reason the things with wings can fly.
You could tell me anything, and I would just accept it because I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to learn about the physics of it, and I'm not going to care.
There's actually a tiny human with super strength underneath it. It pushes it up into the air.
Have you seen the Bee Movie?
And that's how it goes.
Sounds good. I can't wait to fly again.
Have you seen the Bee Movie? There's just a bunch of bees holding the plane up.
Will someone ask Frost about his thoughts on the
B-movie's
upcoming
good.
civil
It is.
conflict
Do you like
game
jazz?
this weekend? Seems like a question Brunts can pull off.
So
Somebody asked Frost about the civil conflict game this weekend.
UCF and UConn.
It would be really funny, but it's not going to happen.
Brunts
wouldn't.
could do it.
He
would
wouldn't, no.
not.
He would not.
Brunts is not one to call attention to himself in a large group.
Correct.
I'd ask it.
Favorite Thanksgiving side? So can we do this question without saying mashed potatoes? Like, can we take away mashed potatoes?
Sure.
Do we have to take away all potatoes?
No, just mashed.
I'm going to try to get a list of Thanksgiving sides so that way we can work on
I think the first thing that comes to my head is the green bean casserole. I love the green bean
I
casserole.
like the green bean casserole, but it's not my favorite.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I used to like stuffing, and I am full out on stuffing now.
Never
Look,
been a stuffing
I
guy.
reverted on stuffing.
Technically, with my Thanksgiving and my family, it would be rice.
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 Okay. Rice is a side. Just rice.
Well, it's rice with pigeon peas. It's like brown rice-ish type.
Okay. Cool.
It's delicious.
But that's specifically yours?
I mean, I can go with that if that's I'll do
We
that.
do my family, my mom always does like a cheesy hash brown thing that I'm a big fan of. It's got a cream of something in it, some cream cheese, more cheese, hash browns.
There's
the
this
cheese.
There's this bit that this guy does on TikTok because there's all these recipes, like crockpot recipes on TikTok that come up, and it has the video of the people, throwing all the stuff into the crockpot. And there's this bit that this guy does where he duets all of them. Like
How long until
they throw the full block of cream cheese into the crockpot?
And he just talks and he goes, and there it is, and then he ends the video.
There it is. It ends. It's a really good bit.
It's a great bit. Cream cheese is in so much stuff.
Just a whole block of cream cheese.
There was one where he was just talking and he goes, it was close to the end. He goes, and actually, this is the first video that I've seen with no cream cheese. And then the video ends.
Yeah, there it is. And it's gone.
Where are you with the cranberry on Thanksgiving?
Out.
I don't do it.
Full
Like
out.
it was never
Like cranberry sauce stuff.
I grew up in a family where we never had green bean casserole on Thanksgiving. So I was in my 20s by the time I ever had that for the first time. And it's great. So I feel like I was deprived to a degree. And then we never did the cranberry either. So some people absolutely love it. Others hate it. I have no opinion on it because I've rarely ever been at a Thanksgiving where it exists.
All right, rapid fire time. Would you rather be able to hear and influence people's thoughts or see the future?
We'll see the future and gamble on it.
Hear and influence people's thoughts.
I don't care about other people's thoughts.
There's no way that you'd be able to turn you
Rapid
would
fire.
get too many.
See the future. Would you take Jake to the tack room to sing karaoke? Do
I
they
hate
have karaoke at the
they
tack
do
room?
have karaoke, yeah.
What sound does a giraffe make? I can imagine it as a giraffe flopping around its tongue. It's
Have you ever seen videos of baby giraffes walking, by the way?
Oh, yes. It's so cute.
It's like me trying to exercise at Farrell's. That's what it looks like.
Have you ever thought of a baby pig, a tiny pig?
Not yet.
As I was walking out of church shaking the pastor's hand, my hand got pooped on. Am I cured or blessed? Am I
cursed
or blessed?
By a bird or by a kid or what?
Just in general.
I
think by a bird. I don't think his hand got pooped
I think
on
you're
by a
cursed because it's two blessings. You're shaking a pastor's hand, you're getting pooped on by a bird.
Wow.
Two positives make a negative. They don't really, but in this case,
It seems
they do.
cursed to me.
Who is Rico's bad Nebraska basketball and bad Nebraska football picks to click for the next 2 weeks?
All right. Keisei Tominaga.
Okay.
And Jacques Yant.
Perfect.
2 backups.
Perfect.
That's the point.
This one just says, I'll eat like 15 deviled eggs before Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm not a big deviled egg guy.
I'm out on that too.
What?
I'm out on that too.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Happer, of toilet water spins clockwise in the northern hemisphere and counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere, what does it do on the equator? Straight down, like a torpedo.
It's like a trap door.
Does not spin at all. Yep.
It's actually true.
Just falls.
Wow.
They did a science experiment on the equator. It's true.
Really?
Yeah. You
Oh,
can look
I'm
show
right.
you. Yeah, I'll show you a video.
That was a guess.
Of course, Rico has a video.
Let's take a quick timeout. I wanted to leave a couple extra minutes here for Mike Sauter of NABPreps.com. We have state football championship games to preview.
Let's go.
We'll do that next.
Follow Connor and Mike on Twitter at Connor Happer, at Mike J. Schaefer. You're listening to Happer and Schaefer.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's Downtown Spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the Sidetrack Band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
Hey, it's DP. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Friday at Wingstop, 29th and Pine Lake. Try all the delicious wings options as we preview Saturday's Wisconsin game and Friday night's basketball game. That's all this Friday from 3 to 6 at South Lincoln's Wingstop location, 29th and Pine Lake.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike Sauter of NABPreps.com is going to join us here in just a second. He has notified us this morning that, first of all, he'll be at the D6, the six-man championship game tomorrow, which is actually taking place at UNK between Cody Kilgore and Potter Dix. There is a player on Cody Kilgore whose name is Cactus Millar, and he has 1,193 yards rushing and 18 touchdowns this year.
Cacti.
Not cacti. He's just one man.
Yeah.
He's one cactus.
In a 6-man game, it seems like he's all over the field, so he could just be cacti.
Maybe. If you had two of them, that would be a cacti. Sauter joins us now. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Are you excited about the Cactus Show tomorrow?
I found that very interesting.
I find it interesting, too. There's a guy named Cactus.
Literally, like, that's his first name. And I'll be there to watch him run.
You like, do we like Cody Kilgore or Potter Dix in the 6-man championship?
Oh, boy. Cody and Kilgore or Potter and Dix.
It's the 1-2.
Well,
It's the 1 seed and the 2 seed.
yes. Potter Dix lost to Cody Kilgore 42-8 last year in the quarterfinals. So I'm going to go with a year ago. I think I'm going to go with Cody and Kilgore if I had to.
Cody plus Kilgore.
Just because I think I've kind of liked them or whatever. They've been on top of our NEBpreps.com 6-man coaches poll all year. So,
well, they did win their semifinal game 72-28.
Yeah. So, yep, that's something too.
What association governs D6 or whatever we call it?
The NSAA does.
Okay.
It used to be just the coaches association or whatever did it. But no, it a couple years ago.
So this is now recognized as a state title?
Yes.
Okay, because it wasn't before, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But it actually was, and then it wasn't, and now it is again.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I've always been confused by that. Thank you.
So let's go to Class A here, where we have Gretna and Westside in the state title game. This will be Tuesday night at Memorial Stadium. We'll have it here for you here on 93.7 The Ticket. If you go back a couple weeks and you just think before the playoffs, and somebody would have told you that we ended up with Gretna and Westside, what would have been your level of surprise?
No, there's no. I mean, well, actually, a couple of weeks when the brackets came out, not overly surprised. After Millard South lost to Omaha North, definitely not surprised.
Right.
At the beginning of the year, I tweeted this late Friday night because I was like, this is pretty improbable. If you would have said that Gretna and Westside were going to play in the Class A state playoffs, you would have been one of one. Like, there's no way. Like, I mean, no one, unless you're a coach or a player at Gretna or Omaha Westside, did you think that this could be a possibility? There's just no way.
Which of the sophomores over at Omaha Westside? I mean, we've heard probably the most about Caleb Benning, but they have a really good sophomore group over there. Who else stands out?
Yeah, I mean, Jamez Ross is obviously really, really good. He kind of stole the show, right? On
Friday, he did.
On Friday, like, you had I don't think this is a stretch by any means, saying the two best running backs in the state in LJ Richardson for Bellevue West and Dom Rezak, who are going to the Mountain West to play running back, on the field at the same time, and he stole the show. Like, he was the closer. He's pretty good. Like, he's good. And here's something, like, the statistics aren't like out there because Westside doesn't use max preps for some reason, which is annoying. But Anthony Rezak, he's played 5 games. Or no, I'm sorry. He's played in, it was week 3. So he's played, 9 games. And he is 62 of 85 for 1,007 yards passing and 19 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. That's pretty good. So, and he's a sophomore. And his brother, Teddy, I don't know if people remember, but he's a sophomore. He's playing against Prep, their rival. First game of the year, second drive of the year, he gets a pick 6. So, like, off a tip ball. I mean, he had a fantastic game to start his year. So those are the kind of 4 guys. Caleb, obviously, is a dude. But Anthony, Teddy, Caleb, and Jamez. Jamez has 54 carries for 445 yards and 4 touchdowns rushing. So not a bad average. 54 carries for 445. I think that's pretty good. And he is capable of catching the ball out of the backfield, and that they're probably going to need Dom. Obviously, need him to play some safety against Gretna. So I look for James to have a big game. More and more people are going to talk about him after Tuesday night. I think that's pretty much a given. So
we've been familiar with Zane Flores for a while now. But it feels like maybe after this game or after a state title game, and especially if he were to win it, the conversation could ramp up even a little bit more surrounding him. I guess where are we at on him and Gretna as they go into this game?
Yeah, I mean, Zane has he has 80. I'm just so happy to be digging into all the statistics right now this morning in this hotel room, but he has 85 incompletions on the year, and that includes 6 interceptions to 26 touchdowns. I think that's pretty good. I love Zane. I think he's fantastic. I did have someone call the other day and say something about, like, is he a me first guy? And I'm like, by no means have I ever heard that. I haven't experienced that watching him play for 3 years now. I've been to his practice. I've been to their practices. I've seen he is not that guy. He is definitely the opposite of a me guy. He's pretty good. I don't know what people don't see in him. It was his rushing, like, not ability not to move and stuff, but I don't know. He's like 6'3" and 190, and he's a junior in high school. I think he's playing big enough. Arm strength is a question. Well, 2 weeks ago in the wind, coming at him against Elkhorn South, 61-yard completion that about 45 of it was through the air into the wind. I don't know. And that was a game-winning drive late in the game. So he has some moxie and toughness in that too. But the guy on Gretna is Mick Huber.
Yeah.
I mean, he's easily the guy. He has over 1,000 yards rushing, 11 touchdowns rushing. Defensively, he's I'm pretty sure he's their tackle leader as well. Yep, 93 tackles. So he's like a throwback. I mean, you don't see that very often. The two-way, literally every single play, he's on the field guy, and that's what he is. The matchup is interesting because I look at both lines and they're pretty even. Like, they're not overly big, but they're not, but they play hard. They're kind of aggressive. The two kind of defensive ends that stand out in my mind are Cole Haberman from Omaha West Side. That's Cade Haberman, who's now playing for Northern Illinois as a freshman. That's his brother. But Cole is just a super high motor guy, and he's more of an end than tackle. And Corver Dema for Gretna is a guy, number 11.
Yep.
He's a guy that looks the part, really. Like, he's long and athletic. He plays hard. He can get to the passer. We'll see if I think Anthony's going to have to use his legs a lot to kind of keep plays alive. Very similarly against Bellevue West, and he was successful. And that's the reason why they went to at Westside. They went to Anthony is because he's not afraid to, get past the line of scrimmage with his legs and move around and stuff. So, that one's. I think it's pretty even. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Westside, easy." I don't know.
Yeah,
man. Like,
it seems even to
Gretna's,
me.
Go ahead.
No, I was just I'm agreeing with you. It seems pretty even to me.
Yeah, I think it has a chance to be pretty close. I hope the weather. I mean, if it's cold, great, but I hope there's no wind and stuff like that. If it's cold, fine. It's that time of year. But I'm just, I really hope it's pretty good. And Gretna has some guys like Jake Lucas is a guy that plays really hard on the defensive interior too. So I think it could be a pretty good game. And then Thomas Silman and Joe Roll and Braden Cheney. Braden Cheney's a guy that can house one.
He did against Lincoln East.
If you kick it to him. So,
Mike, let's run through some of these quickly here. Class B, you have Bennington versus Aurora. Initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Mossick is 128 away from 3,000 yards rushing. So It's 40 touchdowns. Now, here's something though on that game. They played in week 2, and it was 52-44 in Aurora. They played. It's everyone is just like Bennington, no problem. Bennington's gonna win. No. Like it was 52-44, and that was 3 weeks, or that was in week 2. Collazo is great. They both have good enough linemen, a lot of skill guys. Mac Owens is a guy too, but Collazo is a guy that could really help himself, I think, with a good showing. He's only a junior at Aurora. Gage Griffith, big lineman, track guy too. That's a really good thrower. So I really think the game could be close. Both teams are coached extremely well. I do think that one's close, but I just think Bennington probably has a little bit more as far as skill guys and guys that can play kind of. They don't have a lot of guys that play both ways, and Aurora certainly has to.
What about in C1, Lakeview and Pierce, the 8 versus 11 matchup?
Yeah, they played. I think it was week 2, week 3. They played.
It was week 2.
Yeah, week 2. The one thing with Pierce is I still go back to this, and I don't know why, but Colton Fritz was lost in the middle of the year, and then they lost 2 games, and then it was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with Pierce? Well, they lost their best tackler and leader, who is a linebacker and a center. That's a big adjustment to make. So I don't know. Pierce seems like they're rolling. So does Lakeview. Again, 2 extremely well-coached teams. Adam Van Cleve is a guy for Lakeview that is kind of a Swiss Army knife, does a bunch of things for them. He's had a really nice playoff run here. Abram Schulting at Pierce is a dude too at quarterback, and obviously we know Ben Bramer is really good. So could be close. I just think Pierce probably has it figured out though.
C2,
Norfolk Catholic and Fremont Bergen.
Yeah, Norfolk Catholic.
Is this the only 1-2 matchup?
Yeah.
6-man.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Cade Piper, name sounds familiar, from Norfolk Catholic, right? 108 tackles, 7 sacks. Mason Timmerman has 92 tackles and 7 interceptions for Norfolk Catholic. Feels like a long time, but for some reason it feels like a long time. But Norfolk Catholic was runner-up in 2018, and 2017 was the champion. But it feels like a while since they've been there. But, Jeff Bellard is one of the best coaches that we've ever seen in the state. The McIntyres and what those guys did to Ord last week at Bergen, I just think they're on a mission. They have been all year. Losing the state title on their home field last year was kind of the motivator. Again, weather is going to be a factor, but I think Koa McIntyre and Cade both. Cade's a nice player. He's a guy that is long and tall and can make plays down the field and kind of jump balls and stuff. That matchup between like him, Timmerman, and Cade McIntyre is going to be interesting because they're both really athletic and balls in the air, who wins, stuff like that.
All right,
but
Sauter.
I do think Bergen's probably the deal.
Sauter, we'll let you go. Enjoy Kearney. Enjoy the cactus running around tonight. Should be a lot of fun.
Tomorrow.
Or I'm sorry, tomorrow. Yeah, I keep thinking it's Friday for some reason.
I'm actually in North Platte right now. I was in Kearney last night. Drove to North Platte last night. Got to North Platte about a little before 1, and then and I'm going to be in North Platte tonight, and then I'll be in Scotts Bluff tomorrow morning. And on my way back home, I will stop in Kearney for the 6-man state championship.
Just taking a Western Nebraska, cruise, or what's going on out there?
Yeah, my media days.
That's right. Yes.
Thing. So we're on tonight. Will be stop 4 of 5, and then last night was in Kearney, and then tonight is North Platte, and tomorrow I'll be in Scotts Bluff, just in kind of a late morning one there, and then be done. We'll have, by the end of it, I know you guys got to go, but I really put a lot of work into this thing. But
yeah,
this media days thing is 5 stops across the state, we will have, by the end of it, I just had someone ask if they could come tonight, and I said yes. By the end of it, we will have, with that one extra, that's 483 winter sports programs.
Awesome.
Or no, I'm sorry. It'll be, I'm sorry, that's not right. It'll be over 480 is kind of the number of kids that have had the opportunity to talk about themselves.
That's awesome.
And that's pretty cool.
It really is.
I'm really proud of that number because, you know, a lot of kids will never get that opportunity or haven't. And that's why I'm doing this.
Yep. Appreciate it, Sauter. It's great stuff for real. Thanks for all your work, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, bye.
That's Mike Sauter, NEBpreps.com. Check out his stuff. Nobody covers high school sports in Nebraska like our man Sauter, who is taking a trip out to Western Nebraska to do it as well. Let's take a break. We'll ask Schaefer if he should click on these links.
There we go.
Next.
More of Happer and Schaefer is coming your way on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill has been your go-to in South Lincoln for years, and their second location in downtown Lincoln is now open. Rosie's downtown spot is Lincoln's premier Nebraska party bar with the sidetrack band every Friday night of home games and all day for Nebraska home football games. With 34 TVs that are 65 inches or bigger, you'll always have a great view for all the games. Make sure to check out the new Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, now open in downtown Lincoln at 10th and P.
If you're thinking about a new career, improving your job skills, or just continuing your love of lifelong learning, Southeast Community College's Spring Continuing Education Catalog is hitting your mailbox soon. It's chock full of options. Learn how to write a compelling grant application, become a pharmacy tech, or even learn to ride a motorcycle. We even provide the bike. Check out your catalog or go to southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to possible.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sunny skies, but a cool afternoon will be on the way as we top out near 45. Winds out of the west at around 10 to 15. Mostly clear tonight, a low dropping down to around 29. Increasing cloud cover tomorrow, breezy. South-southwest winds could gust over 20, will reach a high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Sauter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
Hi, I'm Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and the NFL, I wore lots of protective gear to safeguard my health. I'm still protecting my health, as well as my family, friends, and community because I got my COVID vaccine. And now, even kids 5 years and older can be vaccinated. If you've been vaccinated, get your booster shot if you qualify. It's free, it's safe, and it protects all of us. Suit up against COVID. Find out more at healthylincoln.org.
Man, we sure could use an easy win this season.
I hear you. That's why I suggested to the wife that we go to Magical Lights of Seward, the area's largest and most entertaining drive-through Christmas light show.
So, by suggesting going to Magical Lights of Seward, you got a win?
Yeah, my wife said it was the best idea I'd had in a long time. The kids loved the dazzling light show, synced with traditional and modern Christmas music, and we had an affordable, fun family experience.
Get your win, too, by pre-ordering your tickets today at magicallightsofseward.com/ticket.
Connor Happer.
I'm probably smarter than I portray at times.
Mike Schaefer.
I am really dumb.
This is Happer and Schaefer.
All right, we finish out the variety hour by asking Schaefer if he would click on various links from pop culture websites. I chuckled out loud a couple times while finding these yesterday.
There's probably going to be some great ones. I don't know.
Thinking about your potential responses. So let's play.
It could be a joke. It could be a virus. I know this is clickbait. Does the reward outweigh the risk? Should I click on this link? Should I click on this link? Should I click on this link? Should I click on this link?
All right, we start here. You get 2 clicks. I have 10 stories. Mike Schaefer, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and the dark side of childhood fame. He wants one already. There's going to be like a Harry Potter reunion situation. Yeah. 1 for 1. There's like a subhead, like a whatever they call that. Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint were thrust into the spotlight thanks to the Harry Potter films. How did childhood fame treat them?
It's a kind of interesting subject. I'm not like a Harry Potter movie person by any means, but I've always had a fascination of people who get famous at a really early period in their life and then kind of like what happens with them. And so I'm gonna click on that.
1 for 1. Story number 2. Did Jake Gyllenhaal's secret cat react to Taylor Swift Red drama?
No.
Have you heard about this whole Jake Gyllenhaal situation?
Well, I'm aware that she is effectively destroying him on this album.
Yes, which came out 10 years ago and is now being re-put out.
Right.
In a different way.
Because it's definitely necessary for Taylor Swift.
It's Taylor's version.
Yes, because she doesn't have the rights to the other one.
That's correct.
So she has to re-release it to then hold,
which is a real shame.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the whole music complex, right? Like within that industry.
So we don't want to know how Jake Gyllenhaal's cat reacted.
No, I don't.
Or if it did at all.
Are you sure? Because
I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't care about Taylor Swift or the cat.
You have to be careful when you say you like Jake Gyllenhaal
the
because
Swifties.
apparently not only the Swifties, but apparently guys saying they like Jake Gyllenhaal and they don't think that anything, I don't know exactly what happened, but it's breaking up relationships.
I'm 100% convinced my wife doesn't like Taylor Swift, so I don't care.
Okay.
Story number 3, 1 click to go. Queen Elizabeth's 2021 hospital stay. Everything we know.
No. Might be less relevant in my life than Taylor Swift, who's already not particularly relevant in my life.
I did a deep dive on the royal family.
I do not care about the royal family much. I know that I clicked on the link involving whichever prince in January 6th, but that headline was incredible.
That was Prince Harry.
Yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda dismisses cancel culture. Quote, that's having opinions. That's having opinions.
I mean, that's probably the headline takes care of what I need for that.
Yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory.
I was intrigued having come off of Hamilton and listening to a lot of Hamilton lately.
Elvis Presley dental crown goes up for auction, and
No.
it's filled with gold.
No.
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 There's a secret record?
No.
I didn't delete the Stafford one. Matt Stafford's wife, sorry for hurling pretzel at fan in alternation at 49ers game.
Clicked, but does not count.
Already pre-clicked.
Consider it clicked.
Blues Clues star Steve Burns just joined TikTok, and he's a little confused.
More so than the last couple of them, but I don't have to click on it.
I am so out on the Blues Clues guy.
Yeah, we've talked about how you just don't.
Have you seen what he's doing on TikTok?
No.
He just has a video of him just sitting there, like staring at the camera, and he's like, I will be like supporting you or listening to whatever you have to say, and people are duetting it, and they're just like describing something that they're very passionate about that nobody cares about.
No, I don't care about.
Well, okay, so you guys have said this term now twice, and as a non-TikToker,
what
duetting it?
Yeah, so like
you can
just
run the video to play congruent with your own video, so you can comment on the other video.
Well done. Yeah.
All right.
So you got it.
I was able to figure it out, but I just wanted to make sure I was right on that.
Bradley Cooper finally addresses past romance rumors with A Star Is Born co-star Lady Gaga. I'm in on this one.
Really?
I'm curious.
Is it because of Gaga, or you really like Bradley Cooper, or you really like A Star Is Born?
They clearly had a connection during A Star Is Born.
Well, the movie is about having a connection. So
I'm just saying, if you would ask me afterwards if they seemed like they were in love, I would have said yes.
Did you like A Star Is Born?
Yeah.
I wanted it to be better. I thought it was going to be better. I was a little disappointed by it. Rico never saw it.
I haven't seen it.
It didn't make it to Rico Box?
It did not.
Wow.
Taylor Lautner is engaged to another Taylor,
No, but
who will then become Taylor Lautner.
right. Yeah, I was thinking.
So
about
when they say Mr. and Mrs. Taylor Lautner,
Taylor Lautners.
Yeah.
All right, still only one click used.
How many left?
2.
Okay.
Kirsten Dunst. Jesse Plemons and I fell in love creatively before dating.
I mean, I do like this relationship existing.
I didn't know it did, but it's hilarious.
There's people that don't know who Jesse Plemons is by name. That
He's
would
Todd
be
from Breaking Bad.
That'd be Landry from
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights. And they were a married couple in season 2 of Fargo, and it was fantastic.
They fell in love creatively.
Yeah, and then apparently, just like Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga in A Star Is Born,
They fell in real love.
their real love emanated from
This
their
is a
time
click?
together. Yeah.
it's a click.
You've
Yeah.
only got one left.
Yeah, I'd probably do it.
All right. 0 clicks left. Here's what you've missed out on.
Oh no.
Shaq. I turned down the role in Green Mile, Michael Clark Duncan's famous character.
Damn it, I had clicked on that. I like the Green Mile a lot.
Can you imagine Shaq?
He'd have been terrible.
It would have been awful.
That is, should I click on
I
this
do
link?
think that's true.
What?
Shaq said it. It
Well,
has to
yeah,
be
but
true.
Shaq just said stuff.
Shaq just says things.
I'm not a fan of Shaq.
There's always those
Not
actors.
a fan of Shaq.
Nah, I don't want him on Inside the NBA.
That's a take.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you sometimes. There are some times where Shaq is too much on Inside the NBA, and he always goes back to he has rings.
I got rings.
And he won championships, and nobody else has.
This ain't Shaq.
I just don't think
Why
he's
so
a
great.
particularly insightful individual as it relates to.
It's not, but it's entertainment.
Yeah, I'm not. That's
Charles
not what I
Barkley
want.
actually knows what he's saying.
Yeah.
He just sounds funny when he says it.
Barkley can both so Shaq just wants to be Barkley, but he's not as funny. And I don't think he brings as much when he actually has to provide analysis. So it's like
that part's definitely
so
true.
they're trying to recreate Charles Barkley, and he's not the same character.
Like whenever they put a highlight, they put a highlight on there of a big man doing well or something like that, and Ernie's like, "All right, let's ask Shaq of his opinion." Shaq's like, "I'd beat him."
Shaq is you.
Shaq's like, well, he ain't me. But
You and Shaq have the same complex. You'll take every situation and
about
spin
me?
it to how you could be involved.
That's right. Has anybody ever thought about me?
We call it the Shaq complex or the Happer complex.
What if that was me? I would have dunked it,
Exactly.
and then I would have won 4 rings.
Right. It's pretty funny.
Double champion.
I personally enjoy it.
I don't enjoy him.
I think it's a bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think it's a bit. I think he's entirely not self-aware.
Oh, wow. I don't see it that way.
I think he's completely aware.
I think he
knows. I think he knows what he's doing, but he thinks that it's working. And people actually love him, for it.
Well, right.
People think it's great that he just barbs Chuck all the time about not winning a championship, which sometimes I feel bad for Charles.
I feel bad for him all the time. I feel bad for all the great athletes that were one of the best in their sport and they didn't win a title. That's
And now he's just a
because it
that
would
guy
suck
on
to be a
TV.
name on a list like that. That would just be awful.
It would be.
The greatest to never win.
Oh, I'm glad we got to the bottom of this. All right, that should I click on this link, Schaefer? You successfully clicked on 2, although you did.
I left one
on the Shaq
and
story.
I got to be honest. The first one I took was better than I could have left Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons at the altar for the Green Mile talk.
I was interested in that one. I didn't know they were dating. They fell in love creatively.
Now you got to watch season 2 of Fargo.
All right, I have a Nebraska ball question. Big picture.
Oh.
Next.
You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome to Friendly Neighbors. Welcome to maintenance-free living. Welcome to Carriage Glen. Welcome home. It's everything you'd want in an active 55-plus rental community right here in Lincoln. Spacious floor plans, numerous amenities, beautiful surroundings near Holmes Lake, and much more. Plus, with Carriage Glen's current move-in special, you can save thousands if you act now. Carriage Glen invites you to take a personal tour or visit them online at carriageglenoflincoln.com. Discover the place you'll love to call home.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for maintenance techs. They have needs for the 10B shift, Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m., the 12A shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and the 12B shift, Saturday through Monday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Minimum 2 years experience in a fast-paced industrial environment is recommended to apply, and pay is based on experience. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
And now, story time from the world of Yum.
I could not eat fruitcake. I would not eat it by a lake. I would not eat it with a snake. There's no amount that I would take because I'll never, ever eat fruitcake. Hey, these snacks are really good. What is this? This is Grandma's fruitcake, but it's so moist and delicious. I like fruitcake. Okay, good to know. Kids, I gotta go. All literature is a lie.
Check out Grandma's fruitcake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of yum.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Lincoln's mega liquidation store is here. Wholesale Logistics is now open on West O Street as a bin store with tons of liquidation pallets, appliances, mattresses, furniture, and more. Brand new mattresses 30 to 60% off retail with well-known brands. New furniture also 30 to 60% off retail value. Brand new LG scratch and dent appliances 35 to 40% off retail. Wholesale Logistics purchases truckloads of smaller items from major retailers and throws them into bins, with everything starting at just $8. Get to Wholesale Logistics, open each Friday to Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at 2811 West O Street.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and now I'm protecting it with the COVID vaccine. Everyone, even kids 5 years and older, can get the vaccine too. If you've been vaccinated, now you can get your booster shot if you qualify. Stay strong, get vaccinated, and learn more at healthylincoln.org.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln. Happer and Schaefer.
Says I take no joy in life. I can see that.
Coming at you live from Koppel Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Why are you yelling at me?
Whatever, make me a bicycle clown.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Connor Happer.
You might want to look away for this.
Mike Schaefer.
My boy's awake and smart.
This is Happer and Schaefer.
Welcome back in, 10 o'clock hour of Happer and Schaefer. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer with you on this show. We are the namesakes of said show. And we are back. All right, I have a Nebraska ball question.
Let's do it.
And I'll give you both sides. So the question that came into my head this morning is, are Nebraska ball's problems bigger or smaller than they seem right now? Here's the case for smaller. First of all, it's been 3 games. And you still have plenty of time for it to be figured out, whatever it is. And that's kind of that's kind of it. You recruited Alonzo Verge for a reason. You recruited this roster for a reason, and you've seen flashes of that already, and you're working through some of the early kinks, and you're trying to kind of get to that point. It could be just that, honestly. I'm honestly asking the question, and I want to hear your guys' response to it at 402-464-5685. Not to say that there isn't red flags, that there's stuff to like worry about at this point, but the problems could be small and fixable. Here's the case for the exact same thing being a much, much bigger problem. The roster at times doesn't necessarily seem to fit with what Fred Hoiberg wants, specifically at the point guard spot. I mean, it's most noticeable when you play a team like Creighton and they know exactly what they want at the point guard spot. It's hard to win in college basketball, especially in this league, without a really good point guard. And that point guard being a reflection of your coach and what you want to do system-wise. That player should be that guy at his core, right, in who he is. Nebraska tried to place him there, even though he hadn't been that throughout his entire playing career yet so far. It speaks to a larger problem about lack of continuity between what they are recruiting and what they are putting out there on the floor and what they're trying to accomplish on the floor. Those thoughts have started to enter my head, admittedly. I don't know if that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. We could be looking at this in 2 weeks and saying that's a problem of the past. Like it does fit. We're fine. We shouldn't even be thinking about this anymore. But if it continues this way, I think there's some real questions to answer about how you recruit and the way, the type of players that you want to put in the system. I think we're not far away from that conversation.
So the answer, as it often is it's a blend of both. But I want to discuss each of these things because they're sort of different things in both of them I want to get to. So we'll start with that it's a sign of a larger issue. I do think that if you can kind of put yourself back into the shoes of someone watching Fred Hoiberg in his first year at Nebraska, and really even the second year at Nebraska, the clamor at that time was you have to go out and get more shooters.
Yep.
They absolutely cannot run the system without more shooters.
Got them.
And so it tells you that they have trended into the direction of where they want to go. And it might also tell you that this project for Fred Hoiberg, no one wants to hear that, especially in light of what's happening over in the football stadium.
Ah, there's correlations.
Was oversold in the amount of time that it would take to get to where you could be putting the roster together in its entirety. It may have, people over there may have underestimated the general importance of distribution to those shooters, but you can't say that they haven't aggressively gone after and found players to shoot the basketball after the issues that they had in year 1 and year 2.
Yeah, I think that mission for the most part has been accomplished.
So if you follow that train of thought, and they've also done a nice job of finding bigs that sort of fit what they want as well. Breidenbach has not had a great start through 3 games, but he's a freshman.
Yep.
Like he should get more time than what he's ever going to get from this place to be able to fail and develop and those sorts of things. Same with Bryce McGowan's to a degree. And I'm very guilty of expecting more from someone who reasonably shouldn't have to have the weight of Nebraska basketball's history on his shoulders
100%, yeah.
on top of all of this. So I think if you look at it from the larger point of view, you can push back on the idea that incrementally they have shifted this roster to look more and more like what they want it to run.
Definitely
they
closer
have
than
not,
what it was 2 years ago.
They have not done what they needed to do in terms of finding the point guard that can be the floor general, but they are making the most of the situation by trying to get someone who both can help the scoring load, which might still be an issue, but has the skill set or the ability or the competency, if you will, to distribute the basketball. So they're having to blend what they aren't good at with what they've attempted to assemble. And it hasn't looked good through these first 3 games, but it looked really good against Colorado.
Yeah.
So you know what it can theoretically be. That Colorado game works as sort of a carrot because in theory, even though it was a game that didn't count, it could look like that at some point in time. So I think the pushback against the idea that it's a larger concerning issue is that they have addressed things that they have been weak at, which tells me that they should, in theory, have the ability to continue to address and fine tune and get better.
Yeah. But if it's that, and it's been proven in the first 2 years without the guys that the system kind of works and that they can kind of unapologetically run their system, even though they don't have the pieces, and you can get the shots, but you can't make them or whatever in the first 2 years, then shouldn't it be working right now?
In theory, yeah. And then this is where you get into the smaller aspect of it. 3-game sample size, so we need to let it at least play out.
The most important point out of all of this, for sure.
2 months. And then there are questions I have in there from a smaller scale of, you haven't necessarily gone out and recruited toughness in the way that is sort of necessary when play. And what
100%.
bothers me is that we have to have this conversation after 3 games, and none of the 3 teams that they've really faced represent what they will face in the Big Ten in terms of like having to physically go blow for blow with some teams.
Creighton's a good example because while we both agree that team's not overly talented and there is definitely a ceiling on them, they played with a certain amount of toughness.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they play with a certain amount of I really want to avoid the word effort because I don't think Nebraska basketball is not giving effort. I don't want that to be the soundbite someone pulls away from this.
There's like when you have a vision and a plan for kind of what you want to execute, you could be more focused and singular on what it is you are trying to do. And it always seems like Creighton is focused on that. And it doesn't seem like Nebraska. Oftentimes, and you see this when it unfolds that way, oftentimes it feels like Nebraska is a bunch of different pieces who are kind of looking at each other as like, what are we supposed to be doing here? Who's supposed to be the guy? I don't think that there's much doubt about the system and that it works because I think that's happened over the last couple of years. But that goes back to my question. Then if they have the requisite shooters, then why isn't it working?
The doubt that I have, and it's one that's kind of been in my brain for 3 years, is that Big 12 basketball is very different than Big 10 basketball. And this is sort of where the similarity of Scott Frost and Fred Hoiberg get really magnified, is that the Big 10 conference in a lot of ways operates sort of uniquely against other basketball conferences in the country. and other football conferences in the country. The style of play here, it's not like it's always slow it down, but it's generally bigger, physical, slower, premium possession, premium emphasis on defense. And that is not true in the Big 12. Big 12 football, Big 12 basketball, it's more open, it's more running. It's not as there's still length. There's always length on a basketball
Tons of length
court.
in the Big 12, yeah.
But it's not like
I think
it doesn't manifest itself in like 6'8" ogres in the lane kind of.
No, I think at times the Big Ten almost even just compared to the Big 12 sacrifices its length and athleticism a little bit at the, with the idea of we could sacrifice a little bit of that to get some more system or basketball IQ or whatever it is you use for that,
grit.
Toughness.
It's not grit.
No, I mean that all files into that. Big Ten coaches want to do that because they know that's what's happening in this league. That's what has been able to win teams games.
So from the
Nebraska's short in it.
Yeah. And so the short-term problems and the ones that sort of concern me are, can they just flip a switch where guys who are a little bit more passive when it comes to going and getting rebounds and loose balls and all of that stuff, and they're passive on both ends. I mean, and part of it is spurred on by the amount of just isolation basketball that has occurred. You stand around and you watch. You're not putting yourself in position to get a loose ball. You're not putting yourself in position to crash the board. You're not getting back on defense because you're sort of just out of it. It's akin to a little bit like when you're a fielder and the pitcher just keeps walking guys, you kind of lose focus a little bit because you're not involved in the action.
Much. Here's the thing, and this is kind of summed up in this text here from the Sartor Heyman text line at 402-464-5685. This Nebraska team was never built to compete in the Big Ten. How can you expect to have an above 500 league record where almost every team recruits and hyper-focuses on rebounding, defense, and toughness? This finesse basketball Hoiberger has brought here will never work in the league. Here's the issue. Like, I just want to see it have a chance.
Yeah.
If they can't do what they want to do on offense, and they haven't been able to get to their they got to their ceiling, honestly, I think in the first year with kind of what they had. And believe it or not, that talent wise, that's probably the case. And they got the open shots, and I think that they used that as a building block and carried it on a little bit to year two, even though it was such a weird year and the roster was still in flux a little bit too. Like, I want to see the offense run at full strength. I want to see this idea of quote unquote finesse. I'm not against that, quote unquote finesse basketball, up tempo, whatever you want to call it, basketball in this league. I'd love to see it. They just haven't been able to get there for various reasons over the last 3 years.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, they lack a point guard. And they probably need and this is where Blaze Keita could be really interesting next year. They probably need a better big presence than Derek Walker provides at times. And that's not to take a shot at Derek Walker. He's doing the best that he can, and he's helpful to a degree.
He's one of the few guys that maxes out what he has, to be honest with you.
But he's sort of limited in terms, like, you're going to get the most out of him, and that most is still a little bit less than what you probably need for a Big Ten big that's going to play 25 to 30 minutes a game. So,
but their plan is we can get it done in other ways. Like our big is an ancillary part to what we're doing.
I wouldn't sit here and say that you need to be completely concerned about the overall outlook for basketball, but I think it's fair to have some skepticism. And I also think it's fair to acknowledge that they have churned the roster to where it's more looking like piece-wise what they're trying to get to. That doesn't mean that they're there. The mistake that I think we've too often made is that we expect Nebraska basketball to be there before they've ever shown progress that points them in the direction that they're there.
Well, there was a sense from the coaching staff that they were there.
And then the Colorado game was kind of like oh, wow. Like,
they might be there.
This,
yeah.
And then the Western Illinois game was immediately slamming on the brakes.
We're not there.
That isn't this.
Yeah.
So, and this isn't that.
So I tend to think, or at least I'm going to give it, like you said, Schaefer, there's plenty of gray area here, but
you got to at least give it to January.
Right. I'm not there
in January and it's still very much isolation heavy basketball and they're sitting there at like 4-12, then yeah, we could probably have a different conversation. But
And at that point, there's big, serious questions to answer.
I don't think they're
And
going to
ask.
be at that spot. Again, I probably shot too high with like, I think 16, 17 wins is where I was at for this year. It could be more like 12 or 13. But you have to let them play through this.
Should this be a 12 or 13 win team?
No, it may not be. Like, that's the thing. Like, we're putting some pretty high expectations for a group that has only played 3 games together. And they need time to kind of like work through it and figure out how this thing is going to play. And the other thing is, guys deserve an opportunity to progress. I mean, there's several people that I know that are just like complete Breitenbach's going to be nothing. And it's like,
no,
like 3 games.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You know? So I think you gotta, the Trey McGowan's injury hurts so much though, because what he kind of provided,
he was
they don't
only
have.
he was the only piece of toughness and all that stuff that we just talked about that they don't have.
It's not like there's some guy on the bench that's going to step into that role, you know? So, but I want to see, you know, they brought in these shooters. They did have had a kind of a cold start here. Let's kind of see where this goes. I think some of these guys, as the season goes on, I don't expect Keisei Tominaga to keep clanging. I don't expect Keon. I expect more from Keon Edwards.
I guess what I would like to see, and I tried to get to this the other day after the Creighton loss. I guess what I would like to see is some sort of in between. Like I said, it either feels like the offense is really working and clicking and popping, or it's just not.
Yeah.
And they can't win that way. And that, I don't know that that's totally uncommon, but they're so dependent on the system. It's so dependent on the system working. They need to bring some other attributes to the table.
You want to see if they can win when it's not going your way.
Exactly.
And that's true of every Nebraska sport right
100%. I mean, the Nebraska women were able to do it last night. You know, they could play a couple different ways. That's admirable. It's not always going to go your way, especially, I mean, we're talking about in football and men's basketball. They're really dependent on scheme. They're really dependent on system. They don't have this, you know, whatever that we were just talking about, the physical toughness and stuff that can just, you know, inherently win you games, especially against, you know, lower ranked opponents or mid majors, low majors, stuff like that. They don't really have much of that. So their margin for error is already thin, and they need to have their offense working. What I would like to see is for them maybe to take a little bit of a step back from it. Whether that's just going back to the basics or just slowing things down a little bit. Obviously, you still have to have, you know, a lot of this still goes on Verge, and it's like, well, he's got to let the game come to him a little bit more.
He has to play through this too.
And that's true.
That gets to the heart of what you were talking about yesterday, which, as much as fans want to be done with them, Nebraska isn't just going to go to Kobe Webster in game 4 and be like, well, you're the new point guard combination thing.
Yep.
It's not going to, you know, you're going to get more Kobe Webster, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get less from Verge.
Who brought up when we were talking the other day, McPherson? Someone to give whoever, like, I started thinking about that.
Tom Stevens.
Was that Tom?
It was Tom during the break.
I thought about that a little bit more. Maybe. I mean, we just talked about toughness and physicality and stuff like that. I don't know that he brings much in terms of scoring.
Yeah.
But if you're to see this kind of shift a little bit to, all right, I admit it, I'll throw my hands up, we're not going to score 85 points a game. Maybe he is your answer, because he can give you something on the defensive end that you're definitely not going to have without Trey McGowan's for, you know, 8 weeks.
He and Kojanets are the only 2 guys that have not gotten into a game yet.
Yeah, I don't know that he's your answer, Oleg.
No,
but
I suspected both were going to redshirt should they allow it.
Maybe the
redshirting is very, very rare in college basketball.
Maybe the McGowan's things changes that a little bit.
And it very well could. I mean, you're early enough in the year where it's like you're not that far into it. So.
But like, I don't know if it's soul searching time quite yet, but if you get to that point, you look around and you say, all right, once again, I admit it. We're not gonna be the offensive juggernaut that we intended on being. So we have to be better in these other places, because we're just going to get blown out of the gym
Right.
if we try and be this thing that we're not. Maybe that's a thought going forward. So big questions to answer with Nebraska basketball right now. They do play Idaho State tomorrow. Just a quick look at them on KenPom. It seems like a team that can rebound a little bit, and is going to try and run some people off the 3-point line.
All right.
So not fun, but a test.
Go win a game.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. More up next on Happer Schaefer.
Follow Connor and Mike on Twitter @ConnorHapper, @MikeJ.Schaefer. You're listening to Happer and Schaefer.
At Koppel Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Koppel, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Koppel Chevrolet GMC.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Sunny skies, but a cool afternoon will be on the way as we top out near 45. Winds out of the west at around 10 to 15. Mostly clear tonight. The low dropping down to around 29. Increasing cloud cover tomorrow. Breezy. South-southwest winds could gust over 20. Will reach a high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for maintenance techs. They have needs for the 10B shift Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 3:30 a.m., the 12A shift Saturday through Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and the 12B shift Saturday through Monday from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Minimum 2 years experience in a fast-paced industrial environment is recommended to apply, and pay is based on experience. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
At Southeast Community College, we know that winter isn't even here yet, but spring is already on our minds. Registration for the spring 2022 semester is open now. Whether you want to get a head start on a 4-year degree, learn a new trade with a certificate program, or add to your job skills, SCC has a class for you. Spring semester starts January 10th. Learn more about our more than 60 programs of study online at southeast.edu. SCC, your path to possible.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
You may be eligible for free 500 megabit internet from Allo if you've been financially impacted during the pandemic or receive federal support. This is Brad Moline, president of Allo Communications, and I'm proud to say that Allo is supporting the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We're committed to providing everyone in our fiber communities access to high-quality internet. To find out more, please stop by our Allo store or go to allofiber.com/EBB.
One-on-one with DP.
Let's bring in Husker Baseball's Camp Chick. You guys battled, but you guys had fun.
Yeah, I think it's just because we loved each other. Last year and my freshman year are the two closest teams I've ever been a part of in my entire life. We would spin until almost midnight curfews on the weekends playing 2-ball in the hotel conference.
Every
and
baseball player just applauded.
People don't even know that. Curfew would be at 11:30 or 12 if it was a later game, and we'd all be in there sweat.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. One of the biggest challenges for Nebraska this week at Wisconsin will be slowing down the Badgers' talented freshman running back, Braylon Allen, who Barrett Ruud said is just 17 years old, but sure doesn't look like it.
17-year-old kid, number one, it's pretty impressive. A guy who should be in high school right now. Big, strong back. Honestly, he's kind of in the tradition of Wisconsin backs. You know, he's probably a little bit bigger than Jonathan Taylor was, maybe not quite as explosive as he was, but really tough, really physical, runs behind his pads. Really good player who's playing his best football right now.
That means guys like Luke Reimer are going to have a big day for the Huskers.
I mean, he's a really good back. I mean, there's not very many bad backs in the Big Ten. So it's every week where it seems like we're going up against fifth in the nation in rushing, like whatever the deal is. So we've gone up against really good backs this year, and we're just ready for another one. So he's a good back too. So
reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
A new Planet Fitness location is coming soon. To celebrate, you can join before we open for just $1 down, $10 a month. We're squeaky clean and ready to welcome you with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out. So join the judgment-free zone today. We're ready when you are. Just $1 down, $10 a month. Offer ends soon. Join us today.
Planet Fitness Lincoln opening a third location soon, just east of 84th and Layton. Join now.
Planet Fitness locations are independently owned and operated. See club for details.
You're listening to Happer and Schaefer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A couple Huskers got invites to the various collegiate all-star games.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of days.
2 guys to the Senior Bowl.
2 guys to the Senior Bowl. Those guys would be Cam Taylor-Britt and JoJo Doman. It has long been thought that one or both, probably just one, of Nebraska's tight ends could be a draft guy this year in Austin Allen.
Yeah, and that one, it's kind of interesting because, like, he's technically a senior, so he would be invited to these things, but I think you have to sort of indicate that you are going to.
Well, now, Cam Taylor-Britt's in the same boat, but don't by accepting the invite to the Senior Bowl, aren't you essentially declaring for the draft?
Yeah, and I feel like there's some sort of form that has to be checked that he's intended to go to.
Like, there's no way Austin Allen's back next year, right?
I don't think so,
Okay.
but other people are continually informing me that there's a real threat that he could go undrafted, which blows my mind.
We've talked about this before. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
If he went undrafted?
Yeah, we've talked about this. Yeah,
that's crazy.
People keep referring to him as like a lock draft guy, and I'm not sure I see that.
I think he's a lock NFL player. Which to me then means that he's drafted. But if he's not, he would be one of those guys that I could see having like a 7-year undrafted free agent career.
Yeah, I think he'll do a good job.
Either way, I think he's going to be playing in the NFL for a while.
Yeah.
If there's concern that he may not get drafted, he might decide to just come back for another year, which I already suspect Nebraska is getting Travis Vokolek back for next year.
Yes.
So if you're getting both,
Thomas Fedoni,
if you're getting Travis Vokolek and Austin Allen, and you get to redo that, and you have a new, probably a new, I don't know about that. You'll have a more than likely a new quarterback.
Definitely a new
that could be helpful to have a couple veteran tight ends, right there. And then
by the way, Adrian Martinez update, like, he's for sure leaving. This has not been said or anything like that, but
yeah,
I mean, Nebraska just fired their entire offensive staff.
I'm really annoyed at myself for moving off of my 0%.
You did come off of it. Yeah,
I know. I moved it up to 10.
Yeah.
And I'm just an idiot. I should have stayed at 0.
Yeah.
I
There were
right.
things that you had pegged before the year that you moved off of a little bit that you ended up turning around and being right on.
Always believe in yourself.
Never quit playing the game you love.
So,
as they say.
yeah.
Who else is a draft guy on this roster?
I think that Damian Daniels is an NFL player. But there's talk that, he would be another guy that if he left, it's not a guarantee that he would be drafted. It would be huge. Bigger than the 2 tight ends for Nebraska if Damian Daniels came back.
So my
and then Cam Jurgens, but I don't think he's leaving.
See, we've gone back and forth on that one too. I think he would.
Yeah. And I don't know.
I don't know how common it is to see an underclassman interior lineman to go. That's what gives me somewhat pause.
Right.
But
I just don't know that he's so gifted that it's a slam dunk that he would be taken.
So here's why this came up in my head. It's NFL, it's NFL draft. we get into NFL draft season a little bit earlier every year, and some of it has to do with Nebraska because they're
next year. We've already got it penciled down for a segment on September 14th. We're going to talk about Nebraska's draftees for the 2023 draft.
So in the last 4 drafts, Nebraska's either had 2 or 1 player drafted, and nobody above the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Gary was a 5th rounder in 17. Tanner Lee and Khalil Davis, or Tanner Lee in 18 was a 6th rounder. Khalil Davis was a 6th rounder in 20. Carlos Davis was a 7th rounder in 20. Brandon Hymas was a 5th rounder last year, and Matt Farniak was a 7th rounder last year. Is there a chance that this is Nebraska's best draft in a couple years? Point A. And I think, from the conversations, it seems like at least there's a chance that they have more than 2 guys drafted. Second point, they could go 3-9.
Yeah. Well, the NFL draft has never been an indication, in my opinion. The NFL draft has never been an indication of what happens at the college level.
No, not
because
results
the amount
wise,
of times,
but it is an indicator of talent.
Yeah, it's an indicator of talent. But the amount of times where I've seen Illinois have a 1st-round pick as just like a freak defensive end, and they aren't good. Like it's one of those things where I don't put a ton of just like this means that.
What I'm saying is how, and it's been said all year, but like, how could you go 3-9 with this roster? That's kind of what I'm leading back to.
I'm still wondering. I will probably I will always wonder that. I also don't think they're going 3-9. They're going to win one of these games.
Which one?
We'll have to find out.
We will have to find out. 4-8. How could you go 4-8 with this roster?
Yeah, that's not.
At that point, they'd be the best 4-8 team in the country.
I'm tired of them being the best.
What was the stat that was
best
going
caveat
around?
Team in the country?
Somebody did a stat yesterday that people were freaking out about.
Was it the pick 6 preview stat of
it was.
Nebraska's the only team in the top whatever on both offense and defense, and the other team is like Ohio State.
Here it is. Only 2 Power 5 teams are in the top 10 for both explosive offense and limiting explosive defense. Those 2 are Nebraska and Ohio State.
Somewhat hilariously, when they played each other, it sort of went that way where neither team did a ton, except when they did, it was Jackson Smith and Najigba with that one play.
Samari
and
Toure.
Samari Toure twice.
Yep.
So I got a kick out of that, but it was also one of those things where it's just like, what am I going to do with this stat? This stat tells me nothing.
See?
So.
See?
Yeah.
They are good. They're Ohio State. Pick 6 previews also did this. The only Power 5 teams in top 20 offense and defense, according to yards per play. There are 8 of them. Is Nebraska one of them? Yes. Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. It's a good start. Pitt. Weird.
Top 25 team.
Arizona State.
Not a top 25 team.
Utah.
Top 25 team.
Nebraska.
Not a top 25 team.
Iowa State.
Not a top 25 team. That one, there's not as much of a, but all of those teams except for one are going to go to a bowl game.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you on
that. Texter says Nebraska is a top 10 3-8 team. Yep, exactly. If there was a ranking of the 3-8 teams, Nebraska would probably be in the top 10. They'd probably be.
Do you want me to look up the 3-8 teams?
We did this on Nicole's show the other night.
Nice.
And I think we decided that Nebraska is actually the best 3-7 team. It's close, and we couldn't decide. The other team was Bowling Green because
they have the
Bowling
win
Green
against
beat
Minnesota.
Yeah.
And Nebraska's best win is Northwestern.
Yeah.
So Bowling Green has a better win.
Yeah.
But worse losses.
But by the transitive property, Bowling Green is better than Nebraska.
True.
And that's the only thing we could use for these nonsensical arguments.
Yeah.
James just asked, did you guys say that Martinez is gone after this year for sure? No, that hasn't been announced or anything like that.
I'm back to 0%.
I would just say it seems like it for sure.
What do you think he does? I think he's playing quarterback for someone else in college next
That would
year.
be my guess.
I know he's not playing quarterback in the NFL next year.
I just don't think it's here. I don't think it's here. I mean, everybody needs a refresh.
What team should we put him on?
It's a good question.
You for whatever reason have the ability to put him on any team not named Nebraska.
When he goes into the portal, if he goes into the portal, it's going to cause quite a stir.
Yeah, well, he'd be a 4-year starting quarterback that was a one-time Heisman candidate that statistically it doesn't look phenomenal, but aesthetically it looks like he can do anything.
Yeah. So then there'll be coaches around the country like, hey, look at all the stuff that we have around you. You don't have to be this everything guy in our offense. You can just exist and you'll be really good at it. And I think, honestly, that's a pretty good case.
I'm trying to think of what SEC team he's going to end up on.
All right, here we have some suggestions from the text line.
Okay.
Tennessee.
Don't they kind of like their quarterback at the moment?
I don't know.
Isn't it? They got some guy that isn't Joe Milton, and they like him now.
Iowa.
No.
USC.
Interesting. I don't know who they're going to hire, so I don't know how exactly it fits. But I am interested.
Hold on. Yeah. Let's play that out a little bit.
If Dave Aranda went there, I could see Adrian Martinez as a quarterback.
If James Franklin goes there,
I could see Adrian Martinez as
being
a
the
quarterback
1 year stopgap to the whatever 4-star, 5-star they get in the next class. Yeah.
But they also didn't they just start they have Jackson Dart or whatever is a stud freshman that's getting his first start. And so
whatever.
Yeah. What the person who goes to USC will inherit might not necessitate going to the transfer portal immediately.
Interesting. I bet he goes to Rutgers and then beats us next year. That's from Brian.
Probably not.
I'm going to say not Rutgers. Let's see. Adrian will transfer, then probably win the Heisman.
Yeah, Tennessee's quarterback is Hendon Hooker, but he is a senior. So he will, unless he gets another year, so maybe he could be back. He's 22 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
Kentucky Wandale reunion?
That one I thought of several times because Kentucky's quarterback is Will Levis and he eats bananas weird.
Are they going to get a new coach after this year?
You think Mark Stoops will go somewhere?
Maybe. He could be in line for a bigger
LSU
job.
just ends up with Mark Stoops because they can't get anyone else.
That'd be funny. I don't know that I would hire Mark Stoops, but he's had enough success.
That's the thing. Like, he's done well at Kentucky. It's just nothing about him makes me think this is a guy I have to go get to turn my program around.
Ubaldo says going to Minnesota, PJ Fleck licked his ear. People forget that.
Pat Fitzgerald and Adrian Martinez on the same side.
Oh, man.
In Ireland.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. Adrian Martinez at Notre Dame.
That I could see.
It'd be a weird fit because I don't know that he runs really the offense that they do there, but they probably would be looking for a quarterback because I don't think Jack Cohn has been very good.
Jack Cohn, my guy. Not sure what Jack Cohn has done this year. Notre Dame completely fell out of my attention span.
Yeah, and they're going to end up in the college football playoff.
No, they're not.
They could.
No, they couldn't.
They could. Jack Cohn has 16 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He's thrown for 2,000 yards.
Pretty Jack Coney.
Kyron Williams, who I thought was going to be a Heisman candidate this year, has been just solid. So I would have lost quite a bit of money on that.
Oops. Who is going to win the Heisman?
I think it should be Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker.
That's my
After
vote.
they get blown out by 40 by Ohio State this weekend, will you say the same?
They won't get blown out by 40.
You're not fading Mel Tucker this weekend.
I am not.
Though
So he is no longer the leading rusher in college football anymore.
Who is? Some guy from like UTSA or something?
No, a guy from Central Michigan named Lou Nichols III.
Lou!
There's a freshman named Sean Tucker from Syracuse who has been really, really good. He's had 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. I don't know who's going to win the Heisman, but no matter who
Somebody
wins
who doesn't deserve it.
we're going to refer to this as sort of like a year that no one, it's like when Troy Smith won the Heisman. No one cares.
Fred Hoiberg is talking at basketball practice right now.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Basnett says that Fred Hoiberg said that Keon Edwards is likely to start tomorrow.
I want to see more Keon Edwards, other than his definitely didn't need to shoot it right when he shot at 3-pointer at the end of the first half. I have not seen a lot of Keon Edwards.
That is an interesting lineup then. So you're going to go with
McGowan's, Edwards, Verge, Lat, and Walker.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's because they'd prefer Wilcher off the bench as opposed to Wilcher, Lat, because Wilcher would have been the other person.
The bench guy that I've liked the most so far is Wilcher.
Yeah, but I think they prefer him in that 6-man spot as opposed to starting him.
Yeah. I kind of like Tominaga in that 6, that guy.
I mean, those have been the two guys that I am maybe, and Tominaga needs to start hitting threes, but all the other stuff he does, I like.
Right. I said this before. There's like two guys who I think when they touch the ball, I have confidence that something good's going to happen, and that's Tominaga and Wilcher.
Yep. Yeah, Wilcher's been my favorite part of what's been a terrible start to Nebraska so far.
Yeah.
Because I think he could be, I definitely think I'm already losing that 3-pointer bet.
Yeah.
And I think he could be pretty good.
They get some stuff to figure out. That's certainly interesting. All right, we'll take a break here. We will welcome in Tom and Bach for the handoff. We'll do that next.
More of Happer and Schaefer is coming your way on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Breakfast tacos, brisket tacos, pork tacos, chicken tacos. You hungry yet? I can keep going. Pork or chicken, queso nachos, queso mac and cheese, hatchback burritos. Now you're salivating. Muchachos is Lincoln's premier New Mexico barbecue fusion restaurant. You can't miss them in their bright blue building. Pair that great food with delicious coffee for breakfast and a variety of local and national beers on tap the rest of the day. Order your food online at yomuchacho.com or visit them in person at Muchachos on South 11th Street between L and K Streets.
Welcome to Friendly Neighbors. Welcome to maintenance-free living. Welcome to Carriage Glen. Welcome home. It's everything you'd want in an active 55-plus rental community right here in Lincoln. Spacious floor plans, numerous amenities, beautiful surroundings near Holmes Lake, and much more. Plus, with Carriage Glen's current move-in special, you can save thousands if you act now. Carriage Glen invites you to take a personal tour or visit them online at carriageglenoflincoln.com. Discover the place you'll love to call home.
You may be eligible for free 500 megabit internet from Allo if you've been financially impacted during the pandemic or received federal support. This is Brad Moline, president of Allo Communications, and I'm proud to say that Allo is supporting the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We're committed to providing everyone in our fiber communities access to high-quality internet. To find out more, please stop by our Allo store or go to allofiber.com/EBB.
One-on-one with DP.
Let's bring in Husker Baseball's Camp Chick. You guys battled, but you guys had fun.
Yeah, I think it's just because we loved each other. Last year and my freshman year, the two closest teams I've ever been a part of in my entire life. We would spin until almost midnight curfews on the weekends, playing two-ball in the hotel conference.
Every
and most
baseball
people,
player just
most
applauded.
people don't even know that curfew would be at 11:30 or 12. if it was a later game, and we'd all be in there sweating.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. One of the biggest challenges for Nebraska this week at Wisconsin will be slowing down the Badgers' talented freshman running back, Braylon Allen, who Barrett Rood said is just 17 years old, but sure doesn't look like it.
17-year-old kid, number one, it's pretty impressive. A guy who should be in high school right now. Big, strong back. Honestly, he's kind of in the tradition of Wisconsin backs. You know, he's probably a little bit bigger than Jonathan Taylor was, maybe not quite as explosive as he was, but really tough, really physical, runs behind his pads. Really good player who's playing his best football right now.
That means guys like Luke Reimer are going to have a big day for the Huskers.
I mean, he's a really good back. I mean, there's not very many bad backs in the Big Ten. So it's every week where it seems like we're going up against fifth in the nation in rushing, like whatever the deal is. So we've gone up against really good backs this year, and we're just ready for another one. So he's a good back too. So
reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
Tom and Bach.
I think what made me sick was that game last night. I got up, Bach. I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't get angry at anyone. They're keeping an eye on, security apparently is keeping an eye on me. Like, you got to watch that Stevens. He's going to go crazy. He's going to get mad at the officials, and then all hell is going to break loose.
The world just revolves around Tom Stevens.
That's right. It always revolves around me. Enough about me. What do you think of me?
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Maximize your savings with Bryant. Hi, folks. Greg Sharp here, the voice of the Huskers. Bryant offers efficient heating and cooling system options to help you save on your monthly utility bill. If you act now, their team can pair Bryant and local utility rebates to further maximize your savings. Hurry. These rebates are for a limited time only. Call Bryant. Ask for a free estimate to maximize your savings and improve your comfort. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. We do whatever it takes.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies, but a cool afternoon will be on the way as we top out near 45. Winds out of the west at around 10 to 15. Mostly clear tonight. A low dropping down to around 29. Increasing cloud cover tomorrow. Breezy. South-southwest winds could gust over 20. Will reach a high of 52. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. Connor Happer. Mike Schaefer.
You know what goes great with major sports moments and or Creighton meltdowns? Coors.
This is Happer and Schaefer.
All right, welcome back. Rounding out Happer and Schaefer here on 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com. We welcome in Bach and Nick.
Hola.
Tom could not overcome.
No.
He still can't talk.
I don't think so. He texted me at 8:30 this morning, was like, Nick, my voice is not working. And I said, all right, Tom, I got you.
It was pretty bad yesterday.
It got worse. Pretty
Well,
steadily.
the more you talk,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a difficult thing to get out of when you're a talk show radio host.
It is.
It was like an hour and a half when it started to get pretty bad.
He came in at he came over to me at 12. It was like he sounded like okay. He sounded just about as he did at the beginning. He's like, "Is this so?" I'm like, "If you can keep going, then keep going." And then it just
Did you come running in and sound the gong and then had to go?
No, I did not. That never happened. He finished it out. We applauded.
Yeah.
him
He
for that.
tried to interview
Barely.
Sipple and just couldn't even get the words out. It was just like, all right, well, I'll just ask the question.
It's okay.
Sipple thought he was making fun of his voice, like he was mocking him.
What's up,
That's awesome.
guys? So Nick's in today.
Yeah,
I am.
Nick, what do you have to say?
Not a whole lot.
That's great. Yeah, it's not like you're doing radio for 4 hours.
No. I have thoughts. Nebraska women's basketball is a lot of fun. They're going to be fun to watch. Nebraska men's basketball sounds like Keon Edwards will start against Idaho State in place of Trey. So that was I don't know if it was surprising. Caught me off guard personally.
Sure.
But it sounds like
played 5 minutes the last game.
Yeah, it sounds like they want to get some just length in there, which they need it, especially now that one of their better rebounding guards is not going to be playing for a while. So, I mean, I have thoughts on Nebraska basketball, Husker football,
He has
hitting
thoughts.
yardage.
Bach, what about you? You have thoughts?
I have a few thoughts that maybe we can might help the show a little bit.
Are you guys worried that Nebraska is going to lose to Idaho State?
Not really.
So
should we be?
Well, let me give you the case for it here. Idaho State, I'm looking at their KenPom. They did lose to Pepperdine and Seattle. They did lose to Seattle by almost 30.
That's a lot.
I'm not worried. Nebraska will win.
But here's what they do. They go very slow. Their adjusted tempo is 304, 304th in the country. They don't do very many things well, but here's what they do well. Offensive rebounds, 3-point defense.
Yeah, those are some things that might keep them in the game for a minute. I still wouldn't be
They're top
too
third
worried
in the
about 'em.
country in both of those.
Oh no.
Nebraska will win. No concerns.
Schaefer has no concerns.
None.
When we're all like doing this thing, like don't sound the alarm. It's early in the season. If they lose to Idaho State, sound the alarm.
I agree, Bach.
That's
we can
not
officially
heading
say
toward a
that
good
on this show
losing.
today. If they lose to Ohio State, it's time to press that big red button.
This is kind of like the Fordham thing, right? Like where
Right.
you're basically after a couple bad performances here, now you're just kind of looking, well, can Nebraska like Fordham can throw the ball a little bit with Tim DeMorat. They couldn't stop Arthur Sikowski. What's going to happen on Saturday?
Yeah, Tim the Mole Rat.
So DeMorat. Yeah. So I think it's a little bit of that.
Remember
I
the
want
Fordham
to.
game?
I want to bring up a question that we had from Tuesday, and I want their answers on this.
Go ahead.
Because I know they both watch. Bach, who would you say the number 15 or 16 quarterback is in the NFL? What is the most
Okay.
perfectly middle NFL quarterback?
Who's the most medium quarterback?
Boy, that's pretty good. Like Tannehill always kind of comes out as to
That's
me
a good one.
just kind of a mediocre quarterback.
I'd say he's better than medium.
Yeah.
I would
this
as
point.
well. Ooh.
I went with Derek Carr.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I think your initial answer was Cousins.
Yeah, he's close to
Yeah,
that.
that's good.
Yeah.
Where does I like Stafford?
Yeah,
Stafford would be
up
above
there.
Stafford would be above. I think
Lion
Tannehill would be
Stafford, maybe.
above.
Lion Stafford would be right perfectly
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Tannehill or Kirk Cousins would be a good one. I think Derek Carr is a little below it.
Okay.
What do you think of Baker Mayfield?
I think he sucks.
He did.
He gets it.
Now we find out Bach thinks that Baker Mayfield is secretly one of the 5 best quarterbacks.
Oh, I'm a big
in the
fan of Baker Mayfield. Not so much the NFL, but I saw him play in college, so that was fun.
He was awesome in college.
He was sweet.
What about Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, that's a good.
He's
He would be
below.
below, but how far below?
Like, I think of Jalen Hurts as like the 24th best quarterback in the league kind of thing.
Okay.
Their offensive system is so gimmicky. It's what everybody claims that Lamar Jackson does, but it's significantly further down the dial with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Like, and they've gotten a little bit better, but it's because they've really emphasized running the ball and taking it kind of out of his hands.
Has Garoppolo fallen below that line?
Garoppolo's is someone that could be in that sort of like 15, 16, 17 range.
He may have fallen below the line for me.
He just vacillates between terrible performances and like just a little bit better than mediocre performance.
What about the Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan?
Both below.
I think Carson Wentz sits right
Those
there.
guys are both those guys are both too volatile to be medium.
Yeah.
Like they can be good and then also be really, really
Because for years Matt Ryan would be above that line, and now you're just at the point where it's just not.
That's why I think Stafford can't go there either, because he's been too volatile at this point.
And right now he's better than that.
But there is some good in understanding what you're going to get from the medium quarterback. It's like, we have Kirk Cousins. Here is what our limitations are. Here is what he will not do. And we can live with this.
Yeah.
Now we have to build a team
Game plan around it.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow briefly above or slightly above.
He's probably right in that category.
He's
actually.
getting close. He's sinking back to medium, I think.
Yeah. I would put him top or around 12. Joe Burrow.
You put Joe Burrow around 12. That's interesting.
Everybody in the office should have to do their NFL quarterback.
Oh, that'll be
rankings.
great.
Who's the worst? Zach Wilson?
And then we just aggregate them all.
So we probably have to wait towards the end of the year and then pick an amount of starts that had to have happened in 2021.
A minimum of some.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco. If it's
Is
like
he
4.
still playing?
Since he's starting this weekend.
Is he starting this weekend?
He's starting this weekend for
Oh,
the
wow.
Jets.
Yeah, I feel like I always put like 12 quarterbacks in that 12 to 15 range.
Yeah. It feels like you're either really good or you're medium. And then there's like 3 or 4 horrible ones.
Yeah.
Which pretty much that's the way it goes. Okay. That's the new game. Everybody has to make a quarterback list. Do we do it at the end of the season, like you said, or what?
I don't care when we do it. You want to, or at least one of you or I needs to pick the 32 quarterbacks that get ranked.
Okay.
So that way everyone's working off of the same name.
We'll do it like Jake's golf pool.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
So then everybody will put their
What if we
list
ran a
together.
contest each week where you had to select 2 from the crap tier, 1 from the good tier, and like that's a version of fantasy football.
And then you do fantasy football.
Yeah. I kind of like that.
That would be fun.
Not a bad idea. All right. Nick and Bach are
Mm-hmm.
up next. The show is still called Tom and Bach.
Knickerbockers.
But it'll be
There you
Nick and Bach. They'll have a lot to bring to you this afternoon. We're done for today. Talk to you guys tomorrow.